Hi. Hi, hello. Hi, I'm here. Hi. Yeah, I'm your trucker dad, and we're going trucking today, kids. Kids, adults, teens, early teens as well, 40-somethings also who are teens, welcome to another edition of Alex Trucks and makes the audience listen to audio magazines. Although technically a Tapeworm's Guide is a radio air check of audio magazine, but same difference. God, it's echoey in here. Sorry, this is a very echoey room. That's what happens when you don't have carpet anymore. The audio waves have nowhere to go, so they bounce off the floor and right into the mic. Folks, I'm in a pretty good mood today. I'm doing pretty okay. And I think I have the worst drink yet. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for today's daily bleak soup? Are you ready? I'm sorry about this, but folks, here's what I got on board. It's Sucker Punch's Pickle Juice Hydration Shot. It is a small shot, and you're like, that's kind of gross, but it's kind of worse. I got the spicy pepper variety. This is a spicy pepper. It's a spicy pickle juice shot, and I'm going to drink it here on air. But before I drink it, I do want to thank supporters. Thank you, Neo Zero, 14-month resub. Holy shit, I've been streaming for 14 months. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Itinerant Soldier for the 15-month resub. 15? Holy moly, it's been 15 months. I guess I've been streaming for 15 months. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. I put it off long enough. Anyone else want to let me put off drinking this? It's been sitting menacingly in my fridge for a week, so this might be good. Here's the thing. I like pickles. I like pickle juice. Hey, Dark Mex. Hey, let me thank everybody. Before I get started, I want to say hi to everybody here. Nabjack, Smebbles. Is nothing but pain. Scarlet Swordfish, Dark Mex AZ, Margarine Luca, Drag. I don't want to do this. Dark Witch Glare, Jacob's Pillow. Oh, everybody. Big Bear, Clip, Orange, Scarlet. All of y'all, I gotta drink this now. My life is nothing. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm opening it up. Thank you for the 100 bits, Orange Right. Okay, so it smells good. It smells like pickle juice. See, I don't have a problem with pickle juice in general, drinking it. In fact, did you know it is a bit of a Texas tradition to drink pickle juice for muscle cramps? It's true. Look it up. It actually might just be a general Southern tradition. I'm putting this off. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Spicy pickle juice shot. Well,
let's hear it for Jimmy Subtruck.
It definitely burns. But I gotta say, this is not a bad pickle juice. If you like pickle juice and you like it a little bit spicy, it definitely burns. But this is definitely the drink that sounds the most disgusting, but it honestly doesn't taste bad. I think that adaptogen tea that tasted like nasty mushrooms. Oh, I see how we're doing this.
Running a little low on product.
We are running a little low on product. Hold on. Fiddledy fuck, it's time to truck. Oh, and now I shall finish the rest of this delicious product. 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, 3. Chat, I've truly had worse. This doesn't taste like dirt. It doesn't taste like garbage. It's just, yeah. If you're on HRT, fiddle-dee-dee. If you're on HRT, then perhaps pickle juice is for thee. Not bad, actually. I've had quite worse, and I actually have another I didn't put up a graphic, but I have another drink with me to wash out the spicy pickle. It's called Happy Vanilla Latte. And this is a pretty good iced coffee, except that it's trying to make me feel good. It's teamed up with NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, to support me. You're just a coffee. You're just a coffee. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be telling me to get better mental health. You're a coffee. I'm washing down pickle juice with you. There is no way you could improve my mental health. All right. Well, I had spicy pickle juice and I survived. I have somehow survived, and it wasn't that bad. I've had much worse. All right. We better get started. Friends, folks, truckers, lend me your ears and lend me your good tidings, because we got to get this truck on the road. We have shipments to make, people to run over. No, we're not running over anybody. We're normal today. All right. And let me get started with today's audio component. First off, we have an audio air check of the musical transportations, A Tapeworm's Guide to Home Taping, Volume 2. I don't know if there are people in the side of the game, but you can easily avoid them by just driving on the roads. If you drive on the sidewalk, I think they get out of your way. I could always try that when we play. Anyways, this is me playing it with the first time with a brand new trackball, so I might be a little all over the place. Anyways, yeah, I gotta say, pickle juice, I did have some back cramps and they're gone, so I will say, compared to the adaptogen tea that tasted like dirt, this actually had a positive effect. All right, let's go. Did I hit play? Oh, the audio's not up. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm having a bit of an issue with my, there we go.
From the makers of Tapeworms 1 comes Tapeworms How To and Why.
All right. There we go.
All right, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just relax and answer them as simply as you can.
From the makers of Tapeworms 1
All right,
comes
let me know if
Tapeworms
anything's
How
too
To
loud or
and
too
Why.
quiet.
More questions, more answers from an international gallery of home taping favorites.
Good evening, and welcome to A Tapeworm's Guide
Oh, I'm
to
second,
Home
just
Taping
getting
Part
everything
2.
ready.
My name is Patrick Stewart. Some of you might know me as Captain
Okie
John
dokie. It's, I fixed the doubling. Sorry about that. It should be fine now.
Tapeworms How To features the voices of folks like Lord Litter, Peter Stencil, Alien Planetscapes, Stegor, the Larry Mondello Band, Minoy, and John
Minoy!
January.
More Minoy! I'm
explaining
excited!
how
Alright,
to.
yeah, let me know if any of the audio sounds strange.
And one finger down on the record button like this. Record. Pushing fastly with the fast forward button.
And one more second, I just gotta... There we go. I can actually see the audio now. Okay, alright. I think we are good to go. Thank you all for your patience. Let's go! Let's go. Alright, where were we going initially? I should open up my coffee here. Coffee noise.
My workshop.
Oh, I'm in the middle of the road.
You know, you go in there and you can see my little
And I'm running low on fuel. It's fine.
whatever's on the radio, or my meter is jerking to whatever I'm measuring.
I've got a creature. I keep him in a
Oh,
mason jar
oops.
down in the basement, back behind the corner bar.
Running a little low on product.
Well, very limited the whole thing, but I could play with myself. And,
No,
welcome
I
back
want to
on
go
track.
for... There we go.
And one.
Actually,
In addition
I
to
need to
learning
change
how
my
to,
setup real quick.
our home taping favorites
Move
will
my
explain
keyboard closer.
Why.
It's fine. I don't need the keyboard to drive. I don't need anything to drive. Fiddle-de-dulce, dance, months. It's been 13 months. It has. Thank you so much for the resub, Shax. Hold on, this stuck on something. There we go.
Tapeworm's
Okay.
Guide to Home
Oh, this has been a bit
Taping.
of setup. I do appreciate your patience. There we go.
From Timid.
Anyway,
Productions.
kids, I'm trying to strengthen your brain. I'm trying to
This
get
is
you
the musical
to
transportation.
really get in the learning zone with, you know, something
For
different.
another week.
This is Jerry,
Hi, Jerry.
Chris.
and this is a very special show. In studio, guest, ghost. I'm a guest. It's Peter Stencil.
Good God. Hi, everybody. It's good to
Hi.
be back in the Twin Cities.
All the way from California.
Santa Monica.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
you-
Very privileged to have you here.
Yeah, you've been our tiger on the beat in Los Angeles there.
Life is a magazine sometimes, and
Life
We see
is
each
a
other
magazine
through covers, I'm
sometimes,
sure.
you're right.
Sounds that you found, even when you weren't looking for an echo out there.
Please, God, where's the gas
Come crawling
station?
underneath
Please,
the
God.
bottom of my door, and come knocking sometimes in the middle of the night. You just have to wake up and allow them in.
Yeah, this might be an incredibly relaxing stream,
Yes, Peter
so...
Stencil.
Oh,
associated
milk.
with the little
Chat,
City in
do you
Space
like
for a number
milk?
of
It's
years here on
deliciously
KFAI,
natural.
as well as
It's
being
milk.
a prolific home taper, as our first part of our show is
I hope it's
exclusively devoted
pasteurized.
to
I don't like
independence in
unpasteurized
audio
milk
recording
because I
and
hate
cassette
having
releases,
diarrhea.
and Peter's come out with a number of cassettes over the years. Manifest Ecstasy, Strangely Colored Map, the most recent codex from the Trickster.
The Trickster? The Trickster? I'm not doing good driving with my new
When we
mouse.
talk
That's
about
vehicle
taking
malfunction.
home.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
this man, what have you done? What have you done with that home of yours there? It's just a mountain
Please,
of
God, I
oxide.
need a gas station. I'm going to
Well,
die.
You have to put the books on
Eh.
something. So I put
It's
them on
fine.
my records and my tapes.
Oh,
and
this
my
is a sensitive.
video
This is a
cassettes.
very, very
I don't know,
sensitive
California,
trackball.
Everything's small. All
You
the
move a
phones are
little and
small,
whee!
I can't even store all my records there. I leave some of them at my parents' house here in Minnesota.
Please,
It's,
God.
It's just the
Please
one
give the
trade-off.
jester
I mean,
a
California has
break.
good weather, but
Give
living
me,
space is hard to
give
come
me
by.
a gas
Record storage
station.
space is extremely hard to come by.
The game audio's turned pretty low.
We have
I'll turn
music
it back
from the
up in a
hearts of
second.
Peter's living space, as well as Chris and Jerry's. But for the first 2 hours,
It's fine. I didn't mean to bump
Chris,
that truck.
Help me out here. What are we doing?
Yeah, I'll turn up the audio once I
Geez,
get
well,
to a
we're
gas
doing
station. My hands are unfortunately occupied right
Tapeworm's
now.
Guide to Home Taping Part 2.
Where's the
How
gas
to
station,
and
though?
why. We solicited responses
Fiddle
from
dee
home
bass,
takers all
it's
over the
time for
world
some
on
gas. Oh,
several
God, we're going to
questions,
crash.
And tonight we're going to reveal the answers that those personages sent to us. Some will be audio responses, some will be spoken by us as they wrote them to us. And we have 2 questions that are new this time, as opposed from Tapeworm's 1. And the first one, of course, is why do you home tape? That's one we missed last time. Gosh, I don't know how we could have missed that one.
Anybody, any gas station. I will take any gas station at all, for God's sake.
And the second one is
A
how
come and
to-
go, a 7-Eleven, a Texaco,
Home papers give us a little
an
inside
Exxon.
information on
It
how
doesn't
they
matter.
went about
Please,
recording
God,
their
give me
music.
gas.
And then we get to listen to it.
Right. It's like a little digest, or think back to the old popular.
Children, are
Mechanics
you
when
good at pushing a truck
the
all the way
articles, they
to,
had
to
in
Santa
there
Fe?
first go into,
Can you push a truck to Santa Fe for me if we run out of gas?
explanations that they were
There's like
trying
what,
to ask you to
60
build,
kids
and
in the
then
back of my
they'd
truck?
give you
Yeah,
time.
yeah. You're all
And
riding in the back with the
little things
cargo. You
pointing
can do
to
that,
the
right?
way.
Okay, this has got to have gas, right? Right.
kegs
Please,
and
God. Okay. I'm pulling over, kids.
So that's what our tapeworms will be providing you with, so to speak.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
All right, let me adjust the audio here. Turn it
But
up a little bit.
information nonetheless, and mounds of it.
Mounds of it, but
All right. Let me
hopefully
know if the
entertainingly
audio's too loud when I
presented.
get back on the road. And also, I'm checking the freaking map to
And you-
figure out
and
where
you.
I need to go. No, not yeah, the world map. Where is the nearest gas? There's gas. There's gas. There's gas. Folks, there's gas. Okay. We're good. Okay, I think we're good. And I also think with that, it's time for me to leave Jester mode and go into Trucker mode. Fiddly fucker, it's time to be Trucker. Boom! I'm back. Alright, again, audio levels are crazy, so if anything's too loud or too quiet, just give me a holler. Okay, alright, we're good. We're getting gas now, kids. Yeah, I got this tape in a discount section in the back of Love's. Actually, would you get this at a Love's or a Flying J? I just thought we could use something different than Boomerang for a little bit, so I was like, okay, we can do a little, you know. Oh my god, this is so sensitive. I need to turn this down somehow. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, do you like the weirdness of the music? Lowe's is a store, yeah, that's different from Love's. Love's is a chain of truck stops. Vehicle malfunction, schmeacle malfunction. I'm fine. All right. Okay, we're almost there.
Greetings.
They want to make a train go by, right?
All the folks at this project here. This is from Alien Planetscape.
Okay, it says go through. What did I hit?
Here in Queens.
My truck got hit by the thingy.
I myself use.
It got hit by the little thing that makes you not go across the train tracks. I should have.
600s and their accompanying sequencers.
Not smart. Not smart of me.
Synthesizer. 3 ARP
It's a fake Amtrak, folks. It's fake Amtrak.
800. I use an ARP.
Oh, there's the coach car. Look, you can see. Oh, this is so cool. It's fake Amtrak. No, we're staying on the track. It's fine.
All of this stuff runs into
Bill's character.
That's made by Alessis. And
Goodbye, Amtrak. I love
I
you.
use little foot pedals and I also use 2
Oh shit!
digital
Shit!
horns.
I thought the thing was up. I'm cool. Don't worry about it. Please don't tell anybody that I did that.
Soprano saxophone. Our mixer is a
Hey! Oh, it's a red light. Okay. Never mind. Ignore me. You were in the right, not me. You're not me.
We record all of our stuff onto the TX-3340.
There is something about a train that's magic, especially as I crash into one. We got burgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, and pizza. I think we're good.
Which we use for mix downs and so forth.
I got pickle juice that I got from the back of a truck at Love's.
And global noise reductions.
Right.
Equalizers.
Almost.
We're running 2 Celestion 500 studio monitors. And my keyboards are fed through.
All right, I just got to
stereo
turn
system,
here.
which is powered by PV amplifier, and I use Electro Voice HR15 speakers, which are
Finally, kids, we're gonna make it. We're getting gas.
Number two question. My
God,
favorite piece
I'm
of
with you.
equipment
I wish there was more programmer
I like it
art
because
in
it's
this
old.
game, but I
Doesn't have
like
a
programmer
computer.
art in
You have
games,
to make the
periods.
sounds up yourself.
All right.
It was the first instrument that I really learned anything at all about electronic music on, and it's still my favorite.
All right. Looks like the gas
Question
is
number 3.
in the back
What
here.
does
Let's go to the
hardware
back.
mean to you? Means lousy recording quality for one thing. I would never record at that speed.
This is Charles Dayton of CD
Oh, it's right here.
Productions.
Okay. All right, folks, we got
Explain
gas.
your favorite piece of equipment.
That
and
was a
how it's
close
your
one.
My favorite piece of equipment is my Korg SG-1D sampling grand piano.
Don't worry about
favorite piece of
Jack.
equipment is my Korg
Don't worry about Jack. Jack will be
SG-1D
fine.
Sampling grand piano.
Fuel tank is full, thanks. All right, kids, let's get some super juice. And you can get some more pickle shots if you want. Oh, what's over here? Look at this. Oh, look at that. We've got like low-res tea, low-res mellow. That's mellow yellow. That's fake Coke. That's pretty good.
On a child, I learned on a Steinway grand piano. That's
Gas acquired. All right, we are on our way.
So I like the feeling of a real keyboard where there's some actually some weight to the action.
Lanes, lights, we don't care. We do whatever we want in the truck. This truck symbolizes freedom. The freedom to break traffic laws. Ugh. Excuse me, don't run into me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice trucker.
Upgrading it all the time. And it's generally just a well-built instrument.
I guess I'm driving too fast. I gotta slow down. Cause Santa Fe. Actually, hold on. I think I saw something back there. Hold on, folks.
Hello. My name is Doug Michael. I'm with the group The Outer Darkness.
Cool name. The Outer Darkness is a very cool name for a group.
Yes, I do. I have been taking some MIDI classes at this junior college I go to, and got into the opcode vision.
See, there's a thing behind me. I want it. Fuck it.
Hooked.
Watch this.
Also,
Go here.
Using a master track.
There's a Vista
software.
I want to show
Really
you
good.
kids, so you know.
I'm using a Mac 2CX computer, pretty big computer. Has a lot of memory, and right now I'm just using a Korg 01 keyboard, which has plenty of sound.
There's a Vista here somewhere. I swear to God.
You know, I'm gonna update pretty soon, probably this summer. Get a Proteus.
There's a store called American Way. I'm gonna ignore it.
And you know, now it's just actually sitting down and doing all the stuff I hear in my head, and it's almost possible now, because you know all these.
Come on,
keyboards
Vista.
get sounds,
Come on.
You know, that are just amazing.
Hey, we were asking if there were guys here. There's a
And I'll
guy.
probably be
He's
getting a sampler
sweeping.
pretty soon too, and then after that, there's any sound you can
Come on,
ever hear,
Vista. Come on.
you know, you can put onto the sampler. So that's actually kind of exciting.
All right, we got a viewpoint, folks. Look at this. Gorgeous.
Do you use MIDI, a computer?
Santa Fe, gorgeous.
Yes,
There's a
I
guy
do.
washing the wall. I've always wanted to go to Santa Fe
It really harkens
and like
to
check out
vinyl
Santa
as
Fe's
well as
art gallery
modern
scene.
music,
They have an incredible art gallery scene in Santa Fe.
where a musician is sort of a pastiche artist.
It was worth it. It was worth backing into a bunch of cars. Yeah, yeah.
Very simple,
train.
different elements to create the whole. So what happens is rather
Perfect
than being a
music for New
virtuoso,
Mexico IMHO.
You become more of a conceptual artist. Dealing with sort of a larger scope than your own particular instrument.
Damn, this is a nice viewpoint. They're showing a lot here. Yeah, that's Stockton.
And I believe that
That's
the future of music
Love,
will be more
different than
integrated with
Love's
the use of
gas
computers.
stations or truck stops. Hey, Our Lady of Guadalupe. You can
And
just kind of
computers
gaze
will
upon
become
her.
more
That's cool.
integrated with sort of human interaction.
If you're into that. Is this a Catholic school?
For example.
All right. Cool viewpoint. Let's get out of here. No, I don't need to stop the
Of
engine.
technology becoming a part of our lives.
I'm not going to hit that. I'm not going to hit that. I'm not going to hit it. I'm not going to hit anything.
Try to think back to a time before you had an answering machine.
Yeah, it's very ASMR-y. This is a... I was going to say,
It's
this and the
almost hard to
traffic
think of
noise
existing
must be
without
really relaxing. And then my voice comes in and you're like, ah, I'm awake.
Or even a better example, think of
Historic
existence
Plaza
without a
State
telephone.
Museums, take me.
Or a television. Or the equipment you use to
Oh,
record.
I can't go that way. That's fine. We don't need to go to museums, kids.
Technology gradually becomes more
We're
integrated with
learning
our
from the
lives.
school of hard knocks as
And
you get
more
knocked
organic
around in
with
the
all
back of the
basic
truck because I keep
existence.
crashing into things.
My life is nothing but
Yeah, sorry, kids.
Existence.
It happens.
The computers will do the mundane manual labor.
Yeah, your professor is the streets. You graduated with a major in toughness and pear wiggling. Yeah, we are all pears trapped in God's wiggling truck. Like the music. I'm going a little fast here. Better slow down.
A tapeworms guy.
I was surprised at how much I liked that pickle juice, by the way. That was actually... It's fine. The vehicles just malfunction all the time. It's normal. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is American Truck Simulator from... is it 2016?
From John January. We asked what kinds of equipment do you use? And although I not heard of this, it's my Phalum Weebwee. I think that's what we kind of decided that was.
Really need to fix my truck. But I think...
234 front loading.
I think stopping in the middle of things is real, good.
Okay. Anyone else have a number one there?
Yes, number one for Haskell Uni, Flaming Monk Music. What kinds of equipment does he use? 4-track, effects, pots, pans, any instrument, other tapes,
don't need to look.
Rolling papers.
Ooh. Turns out I do have one here. Do process.
Right.
Emil Below.
Okay.
Excuse me
I think we're doing
if I'm
good.
mispronouncing her name from RR Records.
Oh God. Okay, we're cool. I'm just trying to adjust the window so it looks better on stream, but
second sand.
Perhaps I shouldn't do that.
Grungy.
It's got some of these pop stains on it.
Flaming Monks is a good name.
Just in time for Father's Day.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Carl Howard of Audiophile Tapes, his favorite piece of equipment, and why is it his favorite? He says, I still like the
No, there aren't any cool
CZ101
bridges in
as they
Santa
call
Fe
it,
where I
because
can get
despite its
my
design
truck
flaws, it's very
sheared off, unfortunately.
And Clark Higgins from Greenhouse Effects and the home taping buff.
It's fine. Whoever I crashed into, it's fine. Oh, wow, that's not good. They're kind of stopped. It's fine.
Question number 3 was our
fireworks, kids.
Our clever.
Don't tell anybody. But we should get fireworks.
Home tapers to see if it would stick.
And we should definitely use them in the middle of a dry desert.
Really mean to you? Dave Barnes says 1.5 inches per second? Question mark. I don't know. Sounds like an excuse for tape hiss.
Jack Basher, My Personal Demon, says it means experimentation.
Yes, it does, in fact. If you use speed
sorry,
control
it's so
on
sensitive. I'm
effect,
so
you will get
worried.
Different inches per second traveling across the head.
And whoever said that tape hiss cannot be musical, that's what I want to know.
I do like tape hiss.
Part of almost.
It's like there's a cool snake or dragon stuck in your cassette.
What does 1.5 IPS really mean to Carl Howard?
It happens. Vehicles malfunction. Don't worry about it. Vehicles just do that sometimes when they're feeling overheated.
It is 1 7/8. I think everyone out there kind of really knows that.
Hey.
That's the trick, yes.
Yeah. Well, I hate, just for a point of interest, I've run into people that don't even know reel-to-reel tape decks used to have that speed.
Oh, really?
Yep. There's a whole generation of people out there that don't understand that whole generation of noise that you can get.
These first few questions running along the technical lines. Other questions will
Okay, we're doing good so far. No major crashes, and we're like 20 minutes into the tape.
Our fourth question in the technical side of things was about MIDI. Do our home tapers use MIDI?
Do they use MIDI?
A computer.
Well, I've got 3 no's here, so just blank no. No and no and no.
Someone's got to use MIDI.
Pascal Uni from Flaming Monk says, oh yeah, I hop into my Mercedes, go to my $1 million rehearsal space, and crank up my MIDI studio and computer, which both cost as much as a yacht. Give me a break.
Okay, fair. I guess MIDI would be
true.
expensive in '91.
Although it can be inexpensive too. Just have to find the right equipment. Using Commodore 64 and some of their earlier software, you can still use MIDI.
Okay, Commodore 64.
Yeah, we're still waiting for a tapeworm out there to give us perhaps a guided tour through the wonderland of MIDI, a barefoot romp. How about? Carl Howard does use MIDI sparingly, but most of his gear is pre-MIDI.
Let's see, we've got a no here from Due Process. No MIDI, no computer. We've got MIDI yes from Scott Orsi of Vavoom.
Okay.
MIDI yes, computer
Boom.
no.
We're here.
Unless you
Sorry,
consider
I am
the
in a hurry
Alesis
now.
MMTH sequencer computer. That's a good
I've
question.
really
Wow.
reduced
We consider
my
a computer
mouse,
a
and it's
brain
still
as a
too
computer.
fast for me.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got a
Oh,
no,
late
my
penalty. That's no good.
SY55 has MIDI
That's fine. Don't
capability.
worry
A lot
about
of my
it.
things have MIDI capability.
These frozen vegetables are
That's a good
fine.
answer.
Let's see what jobs we can get.
And I'm not sure who that's from. Does anyone from
Tom Fergus.
Oh, there it is.
There's
Hey,
on the
Tom.
bottom.
Special hi to you. Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Where should I go? I want to go to Texas.
Tapeworm's Guide to Home Taping.
So we're going to start with anything located.
Here comes a how-to from...
I guess I'm closer to Albuquerque.
Stegor.
Albuquerque.
Also a member of Bad Lenny.
I want something long. Nevada? Ooh, this sounds good. All right, let's go to Beaumont. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Ooh, no.
Hi.
We're doing buttermilk to Austin,
Matheson
baby.
from Bat
Oh
Lenny.
yeah, kids,
And
we
tonight
are
I would
moving
like to
that
dissect
buttermilk.
for you a song that I've been working on for my solo tape under the name Stegor. The song is called Tentacles and Suction Cups, and it's based on a painting that I did a few years back of
All
a
right.
creature in a jar. The song consists of an Alesis HR16 drum machine, an old hollow body electric guitar, generic,
I think I gotta take the job first.
a Lotus bass that weighs about 80 pounds,
Highness, we're listening to avant-garde
And a
tape
Casio
recorders
Ratman
from the 90s.
keyboard.
And we're also trucking and carrying buttermilk to
how I did it.
Austin. Also, don't worry about my
On track
vehicle
one,
constantly
in
shutting
Cascade
down. It's
Ford
fine.
Studio 424, I recorded the drum machine. On track 2, I recorded
Yeah,
the
Austin,
guitar.
we have to deliver this buttermilk to Austin's Popeyes so they can make the driest biscuits
On
available.
track 3, Casio.
There we go.
You're whispering.
And then, on track 4, bass. Once I got it mixed and panned the way I wanted it,
Are you making soup?
I recorded it
All right,
all
let's take the
onto a
job.
cassette with Dolby C.
Oh, Mersbun! Yeah, with that name, I would assume you would be interested in this. This is a Tapeworm's Guide to Home Recording, featuring a bunch of indie, avant-garde, really underground artists from 1991.
Oh, wow.
All of them talking about their
Two tracks
technique,
open
and it's
for
pretty cool.
vocals.
All right,
Vocals?
where is the trailer?
Ah, yes,
It's there.
vocals.
Okay.
I hate
You also get to see me being really
There are
bad
three
at truck
things that I
sim, so
find
that's
very
cool.
difficult about home taping.
Backwards.
One is finding the time. Two
Two.
is wire management. Three, vocals. I don't have any great effects to put my voice through.
That's for sure.
My voice needs some
Whoa!
effects.
That's
We're cool.
also for sure.
I've got an Akai reel-to-reel tape deck with 3 heads that makes a great echo.
3.
No!
But that's about it.
Oh, wow.
So what I did was
What?
I
What'd you do?
turned the pitch control all the way down when I did my voice. And then I did it in sort of a growly kind of thing like this.
Oh, no.
I was also asked to point out a couple of mistakes or anomalies, perhaps.
Big words.
Listen closely.
I did
and you will
it! That
hear
was the
every
smoothest I've ever done that.
case.
Holy shit. Shout out to
An
me.
unintentional one.
Let's couple and
They were supposed to be in bed.
yeah, I think the only thing you really missed, Mersbun, is I did my titular nasty drink of the stream, and it was spicy. It was spicy. There we go. All right, let's look forward.
creature. I keep him in a mason jar down in the basement, back behind the corner bar.
This rocks. I'm sorry. This is so cool that someone preserved this and put this on archive. Like, this is on archive.org, all of these, by the way, all of the Tapeworms guide. There's only 2 of them on archive, unfortunately, but it's really cool. All right, let's go.
His favorite ones are ants and grasshoppers. Cool, yeah.
Well, what do you say we get on with it? Here it is. Tentacles and Suction Cups by Stegor.
I guess I should wait at the stoplight. I guess I should have followed the rules of the road and not crash into people.
I've got a creature. I keep him in a mason jar down in the basement, back behind the corner bar.
Hey, this song kind of rocks. I don't know if they made more. I actually haven't really looked into it. I just got so excited to play these. Hey, no problems. Thank you for the 15-month resub, American Jester Simulator. This is ultimate trucking music.
Insects and spiders. He cracks their shells with claws just like pliers. Chews them up with great big incisors. His favorite ones are ants and grasshoppers. Cool, yeah.
This kicks fucking ass. This is so great. I love streaming. This is totally worth it. I love this. This is so cool.
His head is big, so I kept his being fed. I know he has to breathe, so I poked holes in my lid.
Yeah, no, same. This is great. This is Yeah, this is some shit Beavis and Butthead would just lose their mind to.
He cracks their shells with claws just like pliers. His favorite ones are ants and grasshoppers.
I guess I should slow down here. Gotta go this. It's fine. Vehicles just stop in the middle of the highway. You know, a Waymo did that here in Austin. A Waymo literally stopped like off of I-35 and was just like, "All right, get out." And they're like, "Hi, you're on the I-35. Please don't do this." And the car was like, "No, I'm stopped now."
For your neighbor. Well, my neighbors are used to it. I live in a house which is right across the street from the house that I grew up in. I moved into this house after living in Brooklyn for 15 years, and I know the neighbors quite well, they're me. And we've gotten over our difficulties, minor however they were. You know, and like I said, the neighbors don't really complain, because not only do they know me.
Yeah, I actually watched a video of a guy who was in a Waymo that was like just going in a circle in a parking lot, and he called like the helpline, and the helpline was like, good luck, and they eventually were able to get someone on there to stop the vehicle, but like, this is why I'm not a fan of driverless vehicles because they are not ready for prime time yet. But I also am a pedestrian for the most part, so I'm also like, you know what's a really good driver? Well, no, trains and trams have drivers. I guess technically Disneyland rides are driverless vehicles.
Trying to get people to realize,
like, maybe we just need to build a track into like the road like we did with trams and just put the vehicles on those. I don't know, I'm just spitting ideas here in my truck.
What's the most difficult part of home taping for you?
They're bringing another brand of
Getting started is the tough one.
auto driving cars into Austin, and I'm like, boo. But I'm also excited. I kind of, since I mostly am on the road on a bus, I'm not so worried about them crashing into me. But I am. I did see a Waymo do an incredibly illegal turn the other day, so I am looking forward to seeing how badly these cars drive. While I'm waiting, of course, in the while I'm waiting in the bus.
Like oftentimes while I'm driving, I don't have a stereo in my car. Ideas will come to me, and then I'll be able to sit down and actually hack them out on the computer, and
as long as you keep it in your mind long enough,
right,
remember it.
As long as I can do it, and I've actually
You've worked out a way
that.
to do that.
No, I haven't worked out a way to do it. I've just practiced it so much that it's easier for me. It's like memorizing lines as an actor. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a car and I get a musical phrase, there are even points where I get the musical phrase and then I stop thinking about it and I can remember it when I get home.
Yeah, that's great. That's happened to me too. Driving or. And I do my best to
just speeding by the cop. No worry about it. I turned off the law.
When I don't, and
I like that this you can turn off fatigue and also the law. I was like, no law for me, thank you.
Kind of a natural
hey, thanks for the follow, Ribbon.
For there not to be anything going on in your mind for a while, any creative thing happening, and then sometimes it happens where you get 2 or 3.
I don't want the law. I got other things to do this today. I don't need to worry about the law telling me what I can and can't crash into.
The best material that I've ever come up with, like a song of mine called "Dance of the Discreet," basically wrote itself. The music.
Chat, I have good news. I guess I should let it be known now.
I want to say
I know I bitched about it. I know I was like, this sucks, but guess what? Chat, I'm going to the Museum of Ice Cream. I figured I gotta experience it before it leaves, and I've never experienced one of these before, and also they give you unlimited ice cream, so I'm gonna try it out. I got a coupon too, so that was nice, so it's actually cheaper than usual, but yeah, I'm going tomorrow. It's gonna be thundering and raining that day, so that's actually gonna be really cool and atmospheric. And I'm gonna take a bunch of I don't know if I'm gonna do a vlog or not. I kind of want to, but I also want to just experience it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Where do you home record?
Oh no, don't worry. I will let everyone know what I experienced because I'm very curious. Because I don't want to take a bunch of selfies of me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna do selfies of you. You will not see me. Unless I have you will not see selfies of me unless I've got a fursuit head, which I could I do want a fursuit head, but I kind of want one. I kind of want to make one out of paper mache or something.
You go in there.
And then I wear that. Man, I don't think they'd let me wear that at the Museum of Ice Cream. Okay, so I mentioned it on Blue Sky, but chat, kids. The Museum of Ice Cream has a waiver, and you have to sign. And the waiver is you won't sue us, we're not responsible if you slip and fall, etc., the usual boilerplate. Except that it says, and I shit you not, it says they are not liable if you faint from helium. What are they going to fucking do to me at the Museum of Ice Cream? Chat? Ideas? Because I don't fucking know. Are they going to make me slurp on some helium? Are they going to have a room that's filled with helium? Like Chad said, are they going to make me do whippets? What's going on? Yeah, they're going to inflate me like a friggin' furry art. They're going to be like, okay, time to make you big and round. And I'm like, no. I already gained weight when I lost my thyroid. Liquid nitrogen ice cream. Okay. Helium ice cream. I never thought of that. Yeah, it's again, it's Willy Wonka themed. They're gonna I know people hurt their ankles at the Museum of Ice Cream, so I'm not gonna do what people do to hurt their ankles. I'm not gonna jump into the sprinkle pool. I'm going to slowly slide into it like a freak. Yeah, you gotta meet Dig Dug and he treats you like a puka. That makes sense.
Hello.
I'm also excited because this is the last month it's open, so I really hope that the museum attendants are like, I'm assuming they're just not going to give a fuck.
Well, actually,
So like they're just going to be like, oh, whatever. Here's the museum. Have fun.
Once again, I started in 1972. At that time, we had a how to describe that? I always describe
Yeah,
it
the
as
unknown is going to be there.
we couldn't play any instrument.
I finally saw a video of. I've seen screenshots of the unknown, but I finally found a video of Willy Wonka interacting with the unknown from that one thing. It's so good. He's like, "Beware, children," and it like jumps out at them. That's so fucked up. I love it.
That was the first band, and of course we recorded everything we did.
I'm driving fine. It's fine.
Well, of course.
Yo, 24/7, Lackey, genuine American cuisine. It's Jups. I don't know what Jups is, but it's Jups. You know what I should do? I should learn how to mod, and I should make my own. I should make my own ads for this game, but I don't know what I'd make ads for. Loves probably, since I keep talking about them. I hit someone or someone hit me, and it's fine.
And because in 1978, I think, or 75, I bought my first reel-to-reel machine.
I do hope they have space ice cream. I watched a quote-unquote onboarding video that they sent me, and they were like, hey, we will work with your dietary restrictions. So I'm like, I hope so, because I can't eat gluten. And if they give me like gluten ice cream, I'm going to have diarrhea all over the sprinkle pool. I'm sorry, no, I won't. I will not go into the sprinkle pool if I have diarrhea, I promise you.
The real start, I think, definitely was when I bought this 4-track recorder. That was the one point, and the other point was that at that time...
Is the AI script online? I gotta find it. I gotta find it. I love the unknown so much. It's such...
We were consisting of seven
gluten, yeah. It's ice cream, not even with bread or whatever. They just added gluten to it for funsies.
Well, it was really enormous, the whole thing. But the problem was that... it was very, how to explain it, people were not very much into it. That means
hey,
hey
bus, why are you stopped at the side of the road?
Pushing it. So
whatever. I bet that's a tour bus. That was like the it looked like the Partridge Family bus, except with like
exactly at that time,
no psychedelica on it.
Left the band, and ever since.
I love that the Partridge Family's bus. Yeah, everyone in chat's gonna really remember the Partridge Family, Alex. But I like that the Partridge Family's bus is all like psychedelic colored, and then you listen to their music and it's not psych rock at all. It's just like, come on, be happy or whatever. Yeah, I watched a lot of the Partridge Family on Nick at Night or VH1 or whoever the fuck aired it.
The people I deal with, like Carl.
Hey, we are leaving New Mexico. We're deep in the heart of Texas. Yeah, all I remember about it was that they sang and they were on a bus. The end. That's the Partridge Family.
No music, and there's some. He's got some great music out there. I just got a tape from this guitar player, Mark Kissinger, which was actually really good, and that was kind of inspiring to listen to hear someone, because he's kind of doing. Kind of on the same lines as what I was doing, and that was kind of neat to hear that.
I never watched My Three Sons because I thought it might be boring. So
I mean, you can swap tapes, and
I also never watched Dobie Gillis for the same reason. I didn't watch a lot of black and white shows except for Dick Van Dyke and what was that other show? Andy Griffith. But Andy Griffith they were playing on Griffin or Griffith? Fuck if I know. They were playing that on like local TV.
Started here from my house. Well, actually, the first tapes that I gave to people were master tapes.
Yeah, I heard Dobie Gillis was weird, which is why I'm interested in it.
That you can very easily dub tapes from one cassette to the other. So I was always mixing from my 4-track recorder on a cassette recorder, and then I gave those tapes away. So those were the first tapes in '83. And well, then of course I somehow realized that you can dub the tapes, the master tapes, that you can make a master tape and dub it. And Well, in the beginning it started that I was just sending them tapes.
Sorry, if you can hear closely in the background, there's like laser beam noises, which is really cool.
Matthias Lang from Irre Tapes, West Germany.
All right, I saw a sign telling me not to text and drive, but guess what? I'm never going to text and drive, but I will look at chat and drive. Chat, did I ever tell you the time I was in a... don't worry about it. Did I ever tell you about the time I was in a, what was it, a Lyft? Some kind of rideshare service. And the person driving was just looking at TikToks on their phone while they were driving. I didn't like that. I really didn't. And I was like, it kind of sucked. We didn't get in a crash or anything, thank God, but it was definitely a moment of like, hey, maybe don't do that. I heard about the Partridge Family 2200 AD. I've been meaning to watch. I watched like, I swear I found a pirated copy of like one episode and I watched it and I was like, what the fuck? You're not going to believe it, but much like a lot of Hanna-Barbera spin-offs of the time, it's kind of boring.
Several distribution systems all over the world. I mean, tapes of mine. It must be about... I think that now I have...
It was just, looking at TikTok's thing is just, it was just so egregious. I'm just like, come on, man. Come on, at least pull over if you're going to look at... I get being bored by driving, but come on.
I often gave, well... music world would probably call it licensed tapes, so that one of the
yeah, Laverne and Shirley go to the military. I remember that, the Laverne and Shirley cartoon. And there's the pig, yeah, the fucking pig.
And he's distributing
very strange series
through his distribution system.
Yeah, like, okay, so the city, I don't know if I've probably talked about microtransit here before, but a lot of cities in Texas run what's called microtransit, which is basically a city-run rideshare service where they'll do rideshare-style rides, but it's like in a kind of van. They'll pick up multiple people. It's like basically a van pool type situation, like a Uber pool type situation, but it's but you're being driven by a almost missed the off-ramp. But you're being driven by a bus driver, and it's in a limited area, so it's not like you can't go everywhere. But I really like it because since they're all bus drivers, every microtransit thing I've ever been on, the driver has been so good and normal. It's so good. I really like microtransit because we have microtransit near me, and they all know me by now. They're like, oh, hey, Alex, and they're really nice. One of them is a retro gamer, so I get to talk to him about things. And yeah, it's actually really nice because like the bus drivers will talk to you, and I got to learn a lot about the city, about the bus drivers, about who does live band karaoke in town. I really like microtransit. It's a nice in between it's like a nice in between building new bus routes and like other options, and it works. Yeah, the Laverne and the Fawn's Hour. Yeah. I always like the bizarre fantasy component. I remember the Police Academy cartoon. I remember it existing. I never watched it though.
I still send tapes to people who want to distribute it. Want to distribute them.
No, this game does need Hell Is Real. I definitely need to make my own billboards and find a way to hack them into the game. I don't know how, but I really wanna. Yeah, where's okay, you talk about an animated Breaking Bad. I want to say the probably equivalent of that is the Slippin' Jimmy animated series. It's not wacky, but like it is an animated spin-off of Breaking Bad. I never watched it, but it looked kind of bad.
Hey, the Larry Mondello Man.
Hey. I love streaming. Nowhere else could I just be like, hey, you want to watch me truck while I blast 90s avant-garde interviews into your ears? And everybody's like, yeah, that's cool. That's great. I love that. And that's so cool. Thank you, everybody. This is like music to crash your car to. Yeah, it's so funny how the avant-garde music is and the noise and whatnot is somehow more it's not more listenable, but it's a lot less depressing than Boomerang. But don't worry, after this tape is finished, we got more Boomerang for everybody. There was a Fast and Furious cartoon? It's the first time I've heard of it either. Uh-oh, I'm cool. Made in 2019. Why am I driving on the grass?
It just seemed like another sad case of people killing each other.
True. This is music to truck to. You know, I never saw the RoboCop cartoon or the Rambo cartoon, but when I worked at a video store, we had tapes of them alongside the tape of Rubik's The Amazing Cube.
And it's a Tapeworm's Guide.
When the store eventually got rid of its tapes and were selling them for like 99 cents, I grabbed a bunch. I didn't grab Police Academy or RoboCop, but I did grab the New Kids on the Block animated series.
That we received from people.
The written mailbox responses.
I'm driving cool.
Section 2.
Welcome back, Navjack.
A little more about
Fast and Furious Spy Racers.
Technical. And we started with what's the most difficult part of home taping for you?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by animated series based off of R-rated movies.
Higgins says people
I need
around
to slow
don't like the
down.
noise. Local friends and family don't like my songs. That's a rough one.
Pascal Uni from Flaming Monk says, trying to balance my mic on beer cans since I have no stand.
Tom Fergus says, trying to prevent a preconceived idea from mutating in the process of
That's fine.
executing it.
Damage is 40%. It's fine.
Jack Basher from My
I thought I was
the
pressing
environment.
reverse,
I
but
live by the
instead
highway, and you
I was
say
pressing
no?
turn. It's fine. Don't worry
A
about
lot
it.
of home tapers seem to have
Yeah,
problems
yeah,
with,
that's right. Move out of my
neighbors.
way.
Yeah,
Noticed
yeah.
this,
Well, unless you live on a
Hey, you're
farm
running a red
outside
light,
of
dude.
somewhere, you got neighbors.
I guess he
You have
wants to
deal
get
with
away from
Scott
me.
Orsi
That's fair.
has an interesting one, mixed down by far with a 4-track recorder.
Don't worry
You must
about
be
it.
100% sure of your final mixes. I know.
Remember,
I've been
we're in the
lots of
bigger truck.
doubt, and you think you've got a mix down, and then 3 months later you say, no, I think I'll change.
Yeah, go back and do it over again. Yeah.
Man, we almost had an aliens themed
Where do you
Disney
home
attraction.
record?
I mean, they did add the
Pascal
alien
Uni says,
scene
well,
to
from
the
which
Great Movie
city
Ride,
does
but
the
that's gone
Muscle
now.
Ballet hail?
So there was a little aliens for kids out there.
And Carl Howard said, is this a trick question?
And the next question that we
Yeah,
asked
I bought the
was, how
Texas
did you
pack
start
just
home
because
taping?
I wanted to drive
And
through
Clark
somewhere
Higgins says,
that I
learned
knew.
from Pete Townsend interviews.
Pascal Uni says, I was forced into it because
I'm just gonna
my
drive
daddy
here, it's
doesn't work
easier.
for RCA.
And Tom Fergus has borrowed a couple of cassette decks and improvised/fooled around circa 1978. Well, halcyon days, remembering the first time you fooled around with a tape deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like? I don't see blue bonnets on the side of the
We also
road.
asked, who are your favorite home tapers?
And I'm
we
sorry.
did get some
No, that's
contact
not blue
information.
bonnets. Come on,
Pascal Uni said,
Truck
he
Sim.
likes a Maalox
You can add blue bonnets to the
played
side
on
of the
now.
Texas
That's interesting.
highways.
Contact through Box 41 in Waukau, Wisconsin.
Yes, there was a Jurassic World
5490.
cartoon, like Jurassic World
Maalox
Explorers or
Noise
something.
District
I don't know, but it's out there.
Also likes Jake Berry at Box 3112 Florence, Alabama 35630. A Brain in Flames.
Oh yeah, we're
Scott
moving
Orsi,
buttermilk, aren't we? I guess the
says,
refrigeration shouldn't have.
Fat
No,
Bunny,
if the refrigeration broke on the
Miracle,
buttermilk,
Evolution
you know,
Control
it's
Committee,
fine.
Screaming Popeyes.
The Screaming Popeyes.
And John
That's the
January
coolest name I've
mentions
ever
the Soul
fucking
Brothers
heard.
From San Diego.
Tom Fergus also mentions John Oswald, Zan Hoffman, Dino DeMuro, Lauren Salvatore, Minoy, Ken Klinger, Dan Fioretti, Jeff Olson, Chip Handy, John Wiggins, and Mark Kissinger. Second time that name has popped up tonight.
And David Barnes says he likes himself.
I really appreciate y'all showing up to this stream too. I know that Audiomagazines and American Truck Simulator is a bit of a hard ask for viewability, but I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy exploring audio magazines. Audio ephemera is not something that I see explored as much as video ephemera, so I really like to show it off. And I just like doing this, period.
And maximum rock and roll. And there are others too.
Pop Cult Magazine is mentioned by Scott Orsi.
Just drive in the middle of the road.
And, of course, we'll start with Gajub. Very out there magazine.
Yeah. And Electronic Cottage.
And Scott also mentions
It's better than fixing unit tests. I get you, yeah.
Oh, that is Pop Cult Magazine. Yes. Oh, I see. No comma. Pop, music, Pop Cult Magazine.
Shout out to everyone doing stuff on their computer while listening to me. Hope your work goes well.
Pascal Uni says it's hit and miss for his distribution. He gives out hundreds of little flyers, then gives out lots of free tapes. We're about to hear a response to our home tapers questionnaire from the Chorus of Souls.
Hey, a train! Short train, nice. Beats making salad in silence. Well, unless you make them with beets.
All right, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just relax and answer them as simply as you can.
A carnival of sounds. A gathering of souls. Blend an ear to the destructured tuning fork in the road to no end in sight, and find the three men, a chorus of souls. Tom Connors, electric bowed / handheld drill prepared guitar.
I am glad that the noise musicians are keeping you calm, because same.
A chorus of souls emanates from Redondo Beach, California.
Okay, give me 5 seconds from now.
From LAX, go south on Sepulveda about 7 miles past 190th Street till you get to Vincent Street. Make a left, go up the hill. 2 stop signs, it's on your right. 904 Vincent Street, Redondo Beach, California. It's on your right.
We got directions to Redondo Beach.
California.
Yeah, I haven't heard Minoy either. I think he's coming up later.
You're listening to Now That's Interesting, a show within a show on the musical transportation spree. If you have a cassette or would like further information on the music you've heard here tonight, you can call us now at 341.
Also, shout out to everyone who records radio and uploads it to archive.org. Y'all are the kings, queens, and princesses of the fucking world, because I straight up listen to so many air checks. I think I mentioned, but I have like a little portable radio that does MP3s, so I just slap as many air checks as possible onto like mini SD cards and listen to them that way. And it's a really, really nice way to enjoy old radio.
The poem is in German, and I'm unable to translate it for you. There's a man waking up in the morning, remembering what he did the night before, sitting in a bar, drinking too much, causing some trouble.
I did upload an air check that I took on election night 2020.
Sounds simple, but it's written.
Yeah, it was last year. I uploaded it, but I need to re-upload it because I had a comma in the file, and I think that corrupted it, so it's not actually listenable or downloadable on Archive. It's uploaded to Archive, but the file itself doesn't work, so I need to redo it. It's actually an archive of a kind of station that doesn't really exist as much anymore. It's like very few of them exist. It was a beautiful music station. I probably talked about it before. I recorded the air check when I was in Temple, going through a bunch of doctor visits to get my thyroid removed. And yeah, that's actually, it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be able to listen to that station in Austin, but the radio tower isn't that strong. I was gonna say that was normal. I like that.
I recorded a guitar and a keyboard track, following the tension of the words.
Welcome. We are listening to Tapeworm's Guide, Volume 2, and learning about how a bunch of weirdo musicians from the 90s would do their music.
And all was done. Here's the complete version.
Yeah, I haven't crashed in a while. I should crash.
Durchgezechten Nacht, da bin ich morgens aufgewacht und bald, da fiel's mir wieder ein. Die Nacht, der Alk, das Bier, der Wein, der Gin, der Rum, Krambambuli, getrunken habe ich wie noch nie, wohl auch nen halben Liter Schnaps. War da noch was? Jawohl, ich hab's, krakeelt hab ich in dieser Bar. Es ging um Liebe, nuklear, kurz drauf ums Morgen, klassisch. Woher verflixt kam dann das Haschisch? Ich hab's geraucht, das weiß ich noch, danach, da gibt's ein Riesenloch. Ich lallte weiter, das ist klar, in jener dunklen, feuchten Bar. Verfluchte Mutter und auch Vater traten an den fetten Kneipenkater mit beiden Füßen, bis es schrie, das blöde, feiste Katzenvieh. Dem Wirt und auch dem ganzen Rest wünschte ich so dann die Schweinepest, auf dass sie gleich den rosa Tieren recht bald noch jämmerlich krepieren. Da nahm ich eine starke Hand, schlug meinen Kopf kurz an die Wand. Die Tür ging auf, ich flog hinaus, ich glaub, das war's, nun ist es raus. Nur eins noch nicht, denn das kommt jetzt, damit du's weißt, zu guter Letzt. In dieser durchgezechten Nacht, da hab ich nur an dich gedacht.
Fuck yeah. Don't worry, vehicles just malfunction sometimes.
Hello,
it's fine.
This is Peter Stenzel.
Hi, Peter.
From Mazu Studios. Why do I home tape?
Yeah, why?
Whether true or not, it became apparent to me at an early age that in order to contribute something of value to the world, you needed to distance that something as far away from the so-called free enterprise system as possible.
Okay.
Free enterprise is not free. It is a system of control basically governed by a concept I call UD, or unsatisfiable desire. They don't sell you cars, they sell you a generic all-purpose prefab fantasy of sex. We as consumers are kept at an infantile level of motivation through needs. Unlike the infant, our needs are never met, and our needs are artificially created. What defines the music industry is a complex succession of needs creation, which Frank Zappa calls trend-mongering, based upon equally complex demographic studies. Demographically arrived at decisions are the antithesis of creative impulse, because demographically determined marketing is meant to give the average target consumer exactly what she wants. It neatly filters out the element of surprise.
Well, Andy, all I can say is don't let anybody interfere with your happiness.
The only reason we sometimes get surprises through the music industry is because human spirit is stronger and more elastic than data storage.
Fuck yeah, dude. Go off. I love this too. This is great. I love this manifesto.
Stance which I maintain has effectively kept me from pursuing more lucrative forms of music distribution. For someone who worships history on vinyl, it is somewhat contradictory and hypocritical of me not to use the tried and true methods of vinyl music recording to propagate my art. After all, The recording industry brought to the world such wonders as Henry Cow, Thelonious Monk, Jascha Heifetz, Fontella Bass, Dave Brubeck, Yellow Magic Orchestra, Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, and Cecil Taylor. But has anyone else gotten the feeling that the adventurous days of the industry bigwigs are over? Let's face it, in pop music, a smart haircut and a sardonic sneer are better calling cards than musical innovation. The other side to your question, why home tape, might mean, why do you share what you do with others? For me, the urge to communicate has seen me writing to foreign pen pals, publishing a neighborhood newspaper turned fanzine, learning more.
I love those avant-garde multimedia CDs. There's one I want to show off really badly, but I don't know how I can get a theme around it going.
Doing stints as a disc jockey on community radio, living in foreign countries, and so I guess the idea of spreading my music around was part of a larger pattern. It's Scott McDonald and Rob Graber to whom I owe my biggest rush of inspiration, though. Their jointly produced home tape, Big Money Miracles, remains a classic of the genre. The humor and hijinks inherent in that work allowed me to feel okay about releasing my own music without the prettiness that commercially produced releases always seem to have. Thereby, Manifest Ecstasy was born with all its mystery and homespun hi-fi.
Manifest Ecstasy is a good name. That's fine.
If I could make a living doing my music the way I want to, I would in a moment. If I could be a celestial emissary like Sun Ra, or the kind of joy bringer that Bob Wills or Spade Cooley must have been, or a religious angelic voice like the late Olivier Messiaen, I would do it. But first, this commercialist, materialist, greed-driven, UD-driven landscape, the United Snakes of America.
The United Snakes of America!
And in order to help it do that,
The United Snakes of America.
It's an act of magic. It's an act of faith. It's an act of ecstatic manifestation. Think of cassette tapes as catalytic converters. If we don't acknowledge the power of our own creations, then we are like the handcuffed man and woman on the devil card in the tarot.
This was on archive.org. Yeah, I get almost everything from Archive. I wish I could say I found this somewhere special, but no. I was just going through archives, audio magazines and stuff and found this.
Can we take back our lives from the television?
I didn't find it, I guess. I saw it. Someone else found it and uploaded it.
Poison and Hollywood's mass-produced anxiety instillers. Yes, we can. And that's why I home tape.
United Snakes of America. God, I wish. That's just Star Trek.
Good evening, and welcome to A Tapeworm's Guide to Home Taping Part 2. My name is Patrick Stewart. Some of you might know me as Captain Jean-Luc Picard on Star Trek The Next Generation. For many years now, two major questions have plagued mankind throughout eternity.
You got Waco.
Is there life in the universe? And why do people home tape? Tonight we will explore the second question.
Scratchy Boy, thank you so much for the holy shit 15-month resub. Thank you. Oh man, I appreciate the support.
We will travel to Akron, where David resides, where he plays the part of actor, singer, comedian.
Oh, you're from Waco, cool.
Home tape. We hope you enjoy tonight's program and find it intriguing as well as informative. Good evening, David. Good evening, Captain. Patrick, sorry, I just didn't expect you to wear your Star Trek stuff to an interview. Kind of strange, but hey, I think it's cool. May I compliment you on your collection of Star Trek memorabilia? Yeah, I am a big fan of the show, but, we're not here to talk about Star Trek. We're here to talk about my work, right? Yes, of course. I don't want to promote Star Trek in any way. I I'll try to mention as little as possible about Star Trek, and my role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard on Star Trek. Well, that's good, Patrick. So, what can I tell you about my work, and what is it you want to know? Well, why don't you start by telling me about UU Music and your part in home taping and publishing your songs through UU Music in North Canton. How did it get started? Do you enjoy it? Well, yeah, okay, I can answer that, I guess. UU Music started when a friend of mine, Mike...
Killeen! I know where that is. That's right next to Temple.
...in which we would publish a tape with the tape having a theme, and we would be able to compile 2-minute songs done on 4-track and put these songs together and put it out with a music mag and a tape. Pretty simple stuff, huh? Yes, pretty simple. But what kind of themes? What do you do? Well, currently we're doing the Seven Dwarfs. We're devoting each issue to one of the Seven Dwarfs, and, well, we get people from around the country to write a 2-minute song about the Seven Dwarfs. Say happy, sleepy, grumpy. And then
All right, write a song about the Seven Dwarfs, folks.
One of the Seven Dwarfs. Say one tape devoted to happy, one tape devoted to sleepy. Yes, of course, your famous Sleepy in My Chevy song. That was quite a hit, wasn't it? Yeah, more so than I anticipated. I really kind of dug the song, and a lot of people dug it for what it was. It took me about an hour, a 15-year-old Korg keyboard, and about an 8-pack of Molson. But that's the kind of things you get when you work with equipment like that. Yes, of course. Hold on one second, please. Okay, Patrick, whatever you say. Say that song that's playing, isn't that like the Battlestar? Yes, it is never mind. I'm fixing the problem now. Okay, hey, no reason to get hostile, man, jeez.
Why, homie, we never asked that. Couldn't run it, no answers passed. Why, home tape, creatures of fate, only just like fish to the bait. We got a fever, feels like an itch. We tape and we wonder and we'll never get rich.
I do like that they emulated the part of I-35 that has like one part up and one part down. It's actually this part of I-35 is pretty cool. This is a part of I-35 where the Waymo was just like, no, I'm stopping, so that's cool.
No need consent labels when you stay underground. Plastic on miracle, build your own show. It shakes a lovin' oven, we all know. Michael at UU Music.
Good job. Cesar Chavez Boulevard is the street that the Central Library is on. Well, that's my Austin info for you.
And now a response from Chorus of Souls.
I don't, if you go to San Antonio, I don't think you get to go to the Riverwalk.
I don't need to rely on my effects.
But I could try, actually.
My playing technique.
Once I finish this, I can go to free driving mode and just drive around.
Color to my playing than total dependence on effects, I believe.
It's fine. Vehicles stop in the middle of the road all the time. That's what vehicles do when they're very healthy.
My favorite piece of equipment right now is
the truck was just taking a break.
My hollow body electric guitar. And I have a friend who works at a music store. I took it to him. It has no labeling on it. And between him and the guitar technician that works there, they said that most likely it's a Sears Silvertone, an old Sears guitar that they used to sell in the catalogs. And so that's my favorite piece.
What do you mean go around?
So it's like
that's my off-ramp
attached and resonance around it.
Now I have an extra hour on my trip.
And to get various sounds, what I've
You will not believe the face I'm making. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed. Oh, the check engine light has gone from yellow to red, so that's not
the
good.
Bridge, I'll play above the neck piece, and I'll play the strings themselves. And the way to achieve those sounds are through different pickup configurations I have on this instrument.
Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Why did they have to do that? Why are they? To be fair, the I-35 is like that now too, because they're building up the I-35. I know the city of Austin City Council just voted to, we're adding parks to the top of the I-35 freeway, at least in one part of East Austin. It looks really cool, but who knows what it's going to be like once it's finished. Well, that's the Austin news that I'm excited about.
Well, I would have to say my favorite instrument is the bass. Yeah, there's just something about those unaudible low frequencies that pierce your kidneys and just drive you wild.
As long as I'm here, I should get some gas. Let me over. Thank you. Hey! I'm driving here.
I demand the cone of silence.
Hey, what do you think Drake's is based off of?
With classified information like this. Silence.
How did you start home taping?
Band 1.
I walked up to my tape recorder and I pushed record.
Band 1.
I pushed record on the tape recorder.
Band 2.
Slowly driving in.
And it's a Tapeworm's Guide to Home Taping, Part 2 on Now That's Interesting. Show within a show on the music for transportation on the screen.
2-2.
Utterly 2-2.
All right.
Couple dozen
All right,
responses
kids, get your super juice,
to
get your
series
pickle
old
shots,
questions to the
get your
people who record
clean,
independently
whatever that
via
is,
cassette, some
some
CD,
coffee to go.
some vinyl. Well,
I'm having
mostly.
some coffee. It's actually pretty good.
And we're going to read a few more of these responses here.
I'm also going to do an
next
illegal
question.
turn.
Which of your released songs is your favorite, least favorite? And Scott Orsi says tie for most favorite, Spirit of JFK and
Whoa!
Knew It. And his least.
We
well,
got
don't
Dream
have one
Burger.
yet. At least not.
I'm always
one
dreaming
that
about
has been
burger.
Released. Otherwise, I suppose they wouldn't have released it.
I am too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I do love me a burger.
Carl Howard says he doesn't feel like answering this.
Thanks, Carl. And the next question?
Oh,
you
here's
have
another one. Yeah,
Okay.
which of the released songs is your favorite and least favorite? And Pascal Uni says, "What the fuck is a song?"
Interesting response.
Apparently, I suppose some recording are not labeled as songs.
They're pieces.
Right.
Works.
All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't want a nightmare burger.
Again, the next question.
Right. Yes.
What percentage of your music do you actually?
Oh yeah, I
release?
feel you. I feel you.
All sound has
I've
some
been trying to
intrinsic
cut out.
value, Pascal Uni, so
You're gonna laugh, but I've been
90%.
trying to cut out ice cream, which is very funny that I'm going to the Museum of Ice Cream. But I've decided to, instead of
Jack
eating a
Basher,
pint of
my
ice cream
personal
every
demon, says 50%.
week, which I shouldn't do, I'm just gonna eat ice cream when I'm out and about instead of buying ice cream for home. So I'm hoping that helps.
Clark Hagens of Greenhouse Effect says all of it. I keep the original tape masters though. Here's a low number. Emil Boleo of Due Process says about 10 to 15%. Now that's a
Man, when are we gonna get to the
Very
Minoy
conscientious,
factory? I want to hear what he has to say.
and tape
High
producer.
standards,
High
yes.
standards.
And on the other end of the spectrum, Dave Barnes says, lately I release most of it, but I didn't used to. And our question number 12 is, what inspires you? For Dave Barnes, he says, it's gotta be original or it gets tossed. Most of my best song ideas come from stoned jams.
Vavoom, Scott Orsi says, my recent awareness of, for my recent awareness of how
Yeah,
many
Nanaki
people
Amano, that's
are out
basically
there
it. I'm like,
and
I'm
just
quitting ice cream. And I'm like, well, time to go to get some ice cream. But I really am going to try to cut back by having ice cream being a treat I have to buy outside of the home. I feel, yeah, it's...
Everything from coffee makers to lawnmowers.
I mean, it's closing at the... I would...
Says a short jaunt to a swanky tower.
I have no
store gives you
excuse. I really
25-cent
don't.
Pieces of plastic on sale for $9.99.
Cool hotel.
$15.99. What a lovely world.
And Clark Higgins from Greenhouse Effect says people writing to say it's good.
I have been trying to get away from
Clark
saturated
Higgins
fat,
from all over
though,
the
so
USA.
I've
and just loving to
actually
doing it
found out. I
regardless
found out
of talk.
the creamer I actually like, the
And,
oatmeal
John
creamer.
January says,
It's saturated
dogs,
fat free,
rainbows,
so
and the
I'm
fact that
going
by
back
the
to
time my
that
kids are in
because
control,
I need to
all
lower my
out
saturated
making
fats
Billy
according to my
Graham and
doctor.
Their twisted ilk will have worms crawling out of their snouts.
Tapeworms.
My favorite
There's
ice cream
more
flavor.
about
God,
inspiration,
it's
yeah.
hard to choose.
Me included, a lot of guys.
HEB has a Mexican hot chocolate ice cream that's really good, and then they have a version of it that's a rocky road that is just, it's incredible. That's my favorite. Chocolate chip cookie dough is amazing. Same thing with regular chocolate chip.
Some of the marijuana that we're smoking, we've grown ourselves. Most of the time, we get it locally from the Rastafarians in our neighborhood.
Cool.
Or through various friends of ours, but yeah. So that's always that haze is always in the air, and usually there's a smell of coffee brewing down here as well. So
Mint chocolate chip is delicious.
Anybody else's studio?
Yeah, I've been trying to eat more veggies lately too, and like tonight for dinner, I'm just having a big mess of roasted Brussels sprouts.
Have you collaborated or thought of collaborating with other home tapers by mail?
If so, explain.
If so, explain.
Caribou Tracks. I've heard good things about that. My other favorite ice cream, and it's got to be like a once-a-year treat now, if that, is I really, it's a classic, but I love Ben & Jerry's fish food. That is an absolute, your week is going dog shit, so you got to have something good, and yeah, fish food is really good for that. I do love chocolate dark fudge ice creams, too.
And I figure it's about time to start letting things evolve, rather than coming to the table with a fully thought-out idea and pre-digested.
Bubblegum banana and grape. Oh, I know what ice cream I really like that they don't even make it anymore. Disneyland, not Disney World, but Disneyland used to sell a pistachio, a Neapolitan with pistachio ice cream in it called Fantasia ice cream. It was pistachio, banana, and something else. And it was one of the best ice creams I've ever had in my entire life. I really do got to get my vehicle fixed. Once I turn this in, I'm going to do a little driving.
Process. Yes. Or with a problem.
The thing is, they don't sell it anymore. They don't sell it at Disneyland or Fantasia ice cream. Last I checked, they stopped selling it.
So there's something in
yeah.
collaboration where we actually get stronger, both of us. If we're always
It was
just doing
so
stuff
good.
alone, we might never
And you can only
know
buy it at like
when
one single like ice cream stall at Disneyland.
We
Oh,
can learn a new technique, but different, or learning a technique to make your palette of sounds and techniques that much larger.
this way.
Our taste expand and bend with the cosmic ways of consciousness.
Make your mind expand.
And here we are.
Right.
All right, I did it without catastrophically crashing. I am sorry, I'm in a hurry now.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just say no.
Excellent! You love to see it.
Question 13. I absolutely hate male collaborations, and I do not do that.
Yeah, I'm a workhorse.
My thing is live playing. If you can't play it live, I'm not that interested.
It's not much money.
And if it can't be made to be played live, why do it?
Do I want hazardous cargo? Yes.
The goal is not home taping. It's the making.
I'm going to start carrying dynamite, fireworks, or ammunition. Woohoo!
which is usually done, at least in my mind, by people who are somewhere in the
Oh,
same area
Spumoni.
together.
Okay, Spumoni ice cream is amazing. I haven't actually looked for Spumoni in years, but I do want Spumoni. Spumoni.
Number 13, yes.
Yeah, I
of
switched a
course
lot
it
of my
is.
ice cream at home with sorbet, so that's been helping.
Wow.
For some reason,
I don't know how
okay,
many.
so I know I talk a lot about HEB, and I
put
feel
it
silly
this
about
way.
it because
Started,
I do kind of
when a friend from West Germany
praise a
was
corporation
visiting me here,
essentially, but
and, of
HEB,
course we
they
recorded
just straight up
something.
sent me a coupon the
It
other
was,
day and was like, hey, I want to go to this Vista, by the way,
Jesus,
so I'm
that's
going to
all
go try to
history.
go here. No, I want the...
Okay, let's put it this way.
Here.
There are two ways of
How do I go here?
corporations. The corporations that
Well,
take
I'm going to
place
try to go
directly
there
here,
to
fresh
see
from
the
studio,
Vista.
so that people visit me.
And yeah,
There wasn't
no,
only
like...
the friend from West Germany. There was also Toshiyuki
God.
Hiraoka coming.
Sorry,
from
I'm
Japan
just,
to Berlin
I'm
to
just got
record
Spumoni
something.
on the brain.
Well, obviously not to
Okay,
record
that looks
something with
good.
me.
We're
He
just
was
going to
making
drive to
a,
San Antonio.
A trip through
how
Europe.
do I get out of the map?
He also visited me
How do
and
I get-
recorded a single. And
Okay, there
well,
we
that
go.
happened several times.
No,
And then, of course, I have the corporations.
All right, let's just go for a fucking drive.
With people all over the world.
Yeah, HEB, anyways, I forgot to mention it. HEB just sent me a free coupon for, like, free sorbet bars just because. Like, no reason. They were just like,
most of that
vehicle's not
things
really
is
driving.
released on
That's
Donald
okay.
Composed
We're out-
tape
getting out of
mixed
here.
messages, but there are some of the tracks are on other tapes.
All right.
So on the before mentioned split tape I released on SPH in Portugal that also carries one of those songs. Then
All right, I'm gonna go to the mechanic.
Hermanos Gusanos in California, which was released under the name of Hermanos Gusanos and Lord Lunar. Surfing
But
on
yeah,
the
it was
moon.
really cool. They were like, yeah,
was
come
quite
in
fun to
store
do.
and we'll give you some free sorbet
And,
bars. No strings attached, no
and
nothing.
the
They're just like, hey, you want this? And I was like, yes, actually, I've been meaning to eat, you know.
go,
So I got some
go on
apricot sorbet
talking
bars, and
about
they're
this
really
forever.
fucking good.
Now let's keep it this way. I mean, let's keep it short.
Hold on, I gotta beep, beep.
Let's see. What is my...
They were just like, hey, come into the store. And I was like, okay. I had to go in to get ice cream and ice cream, I wish, to get my medication. My ice cream is not my medication, although it should be. All right, let's repair. Repair all. Okay. No, I want replace all. I can afford that. Okay! Truck's all fancy schmancy. Hey, Juan.
The Tapeworm's Guide to Home Taping.
See ya,
has
Shax.
asked
Thanks
our
for showing up.
respondents about collaboration, and a moment ago you heard.
Oh, yeah, and if you didn't hear, Danny's going to be on
Alien
AGDQ. Not AGDQ.
and Lord
They're
Litter.
just going to be on straight GDQ tonight
And,
with Swell
we'll
Time and a
do
bunch
these
of other
just
cool
written
folks. I
responses,
forget who else is going to be there,
9
but a lot
January,
of cool folks are
would
going to
like
be
to,
there. So do check
but
that
hasn't
out.
yet.
I'm going to be checking it out.
Incidentally,
I
we'll
actually
be
did a bunch
reading,
of chores
addresses at,
yet early today, so
rounding
I would
out,
have the
the
night
end of
free to
this,
watch.
presentation. So
Okay.
If you're interested in contacting these people, we'll give you the chance. Pascal Uni says collaboration is a slow and touchy beast, but yeah.
Let's get out of
On,
here.
Both questions about collaborating.
Scott Orsi says, yes, I have discussed a collaboration with Bat Lenny and with Plastic Eye Miracle as well. And I thought since we have a member
It's
of
fine.
Bat Lenny right here in the studio, I just...
What do you
is
mean
this
I can't
true?
go over
I
this?
thought I'd
Okay,
ask
fine.
you.
Yes, we have discussed it, and it's kind of often.
It's fine. They just won't let me drive over the curb.
Bad Lenny is collaborating with Plastic Eye Miracle at the moment, so that's kind of an interesting triangle there. So
Love triangle.
yeah,
Bizarre.
exactly. So
Bizarre.
hopefully we'll be hearing that collaboration in the next few months.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Peter.
Carl Howard says, mostly I don't like the results of tape collaborations, so I don't do them, but he's looking forward to doing one with Broom from France.
Broom!
Maybe that's Brume, I'm not
Sorry.
sure. And Dave Barnes Says, I've thought of it, certainly haven't gotten around to it, probably wouldn't be interested unless the collaborator had a high level of musicianship and compositional skills and ideas. He says, Dave says he's a snob and won't finish anything that is not up to snuff. And that's sort of along the lines of...
Anyways, our goal is to check out the Vista, as seen on the as seen on the map in San Antonio.
Perfection, well, at least close. Some musicianship.
Oh man, Yoda Adventures would be fun. That's a real DOS game too. Not DOS. It's a real Windows game.
You know, collage.
It's real Windows core.
What name you? I know a lot.
My favorite team? Okay. I love the Astros. Even though they did cheat, I do like the Astros. They're not technically in my hometown, but they're close enough.
Doing a collage of some kind, which I guess.
I love that the Astros cheated. It's so funny. I was watching the Astros, so I used to be friends with someone in Houston who had season passes to the Astros, and they would take me. And so that was back when I lived in Houston. And so I went to some games and stuff, and it was when they were sucking really, really bad. So I just associated the Astros with not winning, and I didn't pay attention to them, and then they started winning again. I was like, oh, cool. Good for them. And no. Turns out they were cheating the whole time.
The Fish Drum organization, the Poetry Devils.
Yeah, I know. It broke me, but it also, I was like, well, that makes sense. I don't know if they're still cheating. I was like, they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have cheated. It was straight up cheating. It was really stupid. They shouldn't have done that.
Home publishing and some of what they had to say.
Ooh, I got XP for free roam.
Some of the other comments, so I thought we'd give it a list 10.
I guess I gotta like the Spurs since they're pretty close.
Tell me about it as a cottage industry. How did we get into this?
Well, I actually think of it as being more you than me. That you have a kind of
Yeah, if you're a hater of the Astros, I get it. It's like I just went there I went to games and I spent time there and I ate the ice cream out of a little helmet at the Astro Stadium, so I have a real soft spot. Hello.
It's about production and selling, and that it's a sort of ancient traditional thing in your family.
Club bowling.
You know, it's pin money. It's like having a bunch of chickens
Excuse me.
taking the eggs to market. That it fits in with your retail personality. That it's not.
What kind of club is that?
I think for a lot of poets or writers are much more isolated than that, and aren't looking for a huge, way to interface with the world.
I will go clubbing for bowling.
That's not about being in Santa Fe. That's about being able to connect through the mail to people who are working on similar
Man, club bowling sounds sick.
And so they're selected out of a huge
I want to know what it's like. Is it like
a few hundred people in the country who want to talk about rock and roll as much as I do, for instance?
Right, well, I know
you are not one of them.
You always mock me out for my love of the word fanzine, but when I was 14 years old...
It's fine.
My boyfriend, whose name was Ed Reed, in Connecticut, he showed me a fanzine. It was like a little underground...
Club bowling. I love that American Truck Simulator is clearly made by Europeans.
It was the most adorable thing I had ever seen.
Because that seems like a total European view of America, club bowling. Man, okay, Austin doesn't have any. We have like one aquarium, but it's not so good. Houston's got a huge aquarium. San Antonio has an aquarium as well. I gotta go.
This is Peter Stencil.
I gotta do a lot of things in San Antonio. It's a cool place.
I've called this piece that you're hearing right now Menlo Park. It's the second to last piece on my tape, Codex from the Trickster. And it lasts for over 8 minutes. For those who like this kind of electroacoustic music, and especially for those who don't, let me tell you how I ended up with this sonic mural. But first, let's just listen to a few moments of...
Yeah, Houston Zoo kicks ass. I love that zoo. They used to have free days where you could go for free, and every time they had a free day, I would go. And it would always be very crowded because, people were bringing their kids for free, and I don't blame them. But it would be I would just take the train there and just walk, and it was fantastic. I miss that.
1990. I had just been living in California for 3 weeks. I moved there from Minnesota, and everything was still new enough to me that I felt it worthwhile to carry my Tascam portable 4-track cassette deck with me. while visiting my brother-in-law up in Menlo Park, California for a New Year's visit.
Doing good.
It was on this day that we drove...
Cactus Bee! Thank you so much for the raid! We're driving to San Antonio to try to check out a Vista.
Cactus
Bee just traded for 13
viewers. Foresight by the world's noisiest ducks. The airplanes in the background are also an integral
I do like the world's
part
noisiest
of the
ducks.
fabric.
There we go. There we go. I like the ducks. I like the idea of duck noise music.
When I got back home, I eagerly explored the possibilities of what to do with these vibrant sounds. I hit upon the idea of slowing down the duck calls to make them more understandable to our dull human ears. And earlier, I had recorded some musical noise from a shortwave radio, aided by my minute twisting of the dial periodically. I took this sound and, as a kind of transparent varnish, I added the sound to itself, creating a noticeable phase effect. Then I added one more pass. And another.
Where are the ducks?
Then I repeated the varnishing process with the ducks.
Okay.
The shortwave noise made an audibly fit companion to the slowed down ducks, with the
Okay, I like the
providing
ducks.
a sonic blurring to cement it all together. Conceptually, I like the choice as well. Ducks and airplanes both use wings to help maneuver themselves.
That's
Shortwave
true.
radio waves are one way we humans quack out messages to each other, including split signal code language as incomprehensible to us as duck language is to us. The Doppler effect of airplanes brings us close to a kind of root knowledge of the physics of sound waves. In fact, I originally called this work Colors of Frequency number 2 in my series of studies of the sound spectrum. But I
Oh yeah, this and
not
the
only
people
because
talking are gonna make
the
you
sound source
sleepy.
came
Oh
from
god,
there,
we're cool.
but
We didn't
because
crash.
Menlo Park, whether the East Coast or West Coast Menlo Park, has been the home of more than one flying saucer incident.
Cool. All right, see, there's the Vista, but how do I get there? See what I mean? It's there, but there's no road there. How am I supposed to Vista? I'm gonna take the thing off. Yeah, I'm gonna stop in the middle of the freeway. How do I Vista? Yeah, I'm gonna try to drive there this way.
Push the button.
Yeah, but how do I get off of the freeway? Well, let me go this way.
Spend your spare money. Say something funny. Plug in the guitar. Sing through a fruit jar. Give lots of toys.
Fuck
to
yeah.
Manufacture noise. Use a little MIDI to dream like Walter Mitty. Don't work towards stardom. It's a 4-tracker martyrdom. Send tapes to all your buddies. They'll think you've long gone nutty. Buy out the pawn shop.
I'm just driving a circle now.
Checking account drop.
This song's great, by the way.
Contact with all home tapers.
I'm at this point where I'm thinking about trying to no-clip through the walls or something.
Write yourself some lyrics. Don't try to make them rhyme. This is Michael from Ooh Ooh Music. From all of us, we say use it.
I have no clue where I'm going now. We're just driving at this point. Kids,
And
do you
Tapeworm's
like San
Guide to Home
Antonio?
Taping, and we asked our home tapers a little personal questions here and there, and this one is, what's your favorite cartoon, film, or TV show, and
Oh,
why?
fuck yes!
And Jack Basher says, Ren and Stimpy. The reason? It's simply bizarre. Very bizarre.
Tom Fergus. Current favorite film, My Own Private Idaho. A tender and amusing and well-directed edited look at gay culture and relationships. 4 stars.
Okay.
Dave Barnes doesn't have a TV. Favorite film says Liquid Sky. I love the brutal honesty of the characters in the icy trip-like atmosphere.
All right, I'm going to pull over, folks.
Clark Higgins
Take a
from
little
Greenhouse Effect.
rest.
Repo Man,
Y'all
because back
keep
in
listening
84,
to this,
all punks
and
loved
we're
it,
going to figure
including
out
me.
where we're going to truck next after I come back.
Scott Orsi.
So,
Cartoon,
see y'all
Bugs
in
Bunny,
about
he outsmarts
10
everyone.
minutes.
Film,
Be right
all
back.
time, undecided, recently, JFK. TV show, The Twilight Zone, old version for its philosophical messages. I agree.
Once again, as we found in Tapeworm's number 1, we find in Tapeworm's number 2 this connection between home tapers and Ren and Stimpy, as Pascal Uni also is a big fan because he says it contains all secrets of the known universe.
I can state that Charles Dayton just recently told me he saw his first Ren and Stimpy, and he was raving about it. Yeah, raving. I still haven't seen. I'm one of the few home tapers left that has not seen Ren and Stimpy.
We'll have to submit you to that.
Yes, please.
Sometime while you're here.
All right, and Carl Howard says he likes Simpson, Cheers, Married with Children, Parker Lewis, Monty Python, and the Holy Grail because they're all subversive.
Holy Grail!
And here's some more favorites.
Let's see. What is my favorite cartoon? Well, there is no doubt Bugs Bunny. It's got to be the best. In fact, I just got this CD the other day called the Carl Stalling Project, and he's the guy that wrote most of the music for Bugs Bunny and most of the Warner Brothers cartoons. And it's a great CD. Let's see. It's called Music from Warner Brothers Cartoons, 1936 to 1958. And it's got Bugs Bunny stuff, Roadrunner stuff, Tasmanian Devil stuff, lots of great music. I always thought that music was really cool. And he was a pretty wild guy, Carl Stalling. But that's Bugs Bunny is definitely the cartoon.
Number 14. Favorite cartoons. Well, I start with favorite TV shows. Well, that's very definitely the Monty Python TV show, which was produced late 60s, early 70s, and it is shown again now on German TV. It's British humor, and it's simply brilliant. So, well, that's definitely my favorite TV show. My favorite film is probably... Wow. Well, actually, it might be The Time Machine. I don't know if that has the same title in English. The Time Machine. It's after this book by... I forgot the name. You know, where this guy in 1800 and something created a time machine, and so he makes a trip into the future where he finds the world divided into two parts, with half of the population is living overground, I think it's the Eloys, and the other half of the population is living underground, as the Morlocks. And well, and he helps them somehow to solve their problem, and I can't explain why, but this is somehow why this is my favorite film. But this somehow, it combines so many aspects, and yeah, well, I can't explain it. Cartoons, wow, that's difficult, that's very difficult. Well, I think I'm very traditional orientated. So I'm afraid that my My favorite cartoon character is Donald Duck, I'm afraid to say. There's no wild, outrageous statement from me concerning this point. Forgot something, of course. I don't know how that is called in English. It's a cartoon from someone from Belgium. The guy's called Hergé, and the main character, which also gives the name of the cartoon here in Germany, he's called Tim. In France, I think it's called Tintin. Well, I think he's a journalist, and he has a little white dog called Struppi. And he has a friend who is a captain. His name is Captain Haddock. And then there are the famous two characters of those two police guys. They are called, well, it's no use to give the names. They are twins in a way, with bowler hats and black suits. And I think that's my favorite cartoon in a way.
Question
I also, did I not turn the mic off? I'm sorry if I left that on while I was gone. Y'all probably got to hear me washing my hands or whatever. All right, let's pick a let's pick a job to do.
Or Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song.
Whoa, Sweet Sweetbacks is really good.
I really couldn't give a damn about cartoons. I'm 40 years old and don't really watch them that much.
That's so mean. I'm 40 and I watch cartoons, goddammit.
This is John January, and I'd like to tell you about a song of mine called Creatures in My Soup. I often find extra tape at the end of a major idea, and I write myself a little instant tune, usually using whatever I can see in the room, and just try to come up with just some kind of harebrained brainstorm kind of creature. Some of these things have even found their ways onto my releases.
Chat, do you want to go to Oregon?
Soup took on a life of its own, and
we are not going to make it by the end of the stream, but I really want to do this. Okay, we're going to Oregon, folks. Let's fucking go.
Because it told me so. I started off with a factory preset pattern that was already built into my Dr. Rhythm digital unit, and from there I proceeded to construct a funky kind of slap thing.
I'm just getting used to the car again.
That worked out pretty good. It's kind of elastic and rubbery and jammy, and so I decided to go for the other end of the spectrum, and I went for the phantom ghost sound from my outdated synthesizer.
What? I'm cool.
And you know, I liked it. The overall lyrical and vocal concept for Creatures in My Soup called for something a little bit different. So I decided that I wanted the song to sound
I just don't worry about it. I can learn. I know how to drive.
That you don't need.
And I figured if I jazzed it up, made it kind of peppy and stuff, that it would really, really swing.
In contrast, the slower, more plotting part would kind of dump the song into the land of supreme dorkiness. And I also opted to sing this last part of the song through a distortion device. Because when you sing through a distortion device, it really makes you sound insane and in control. And there's nothing more threatening than an insane person who's in control. I like to.
I love this. I love this person, whoever they may be.
Sound like Jimi Hendrix, John's tip for the beginner. I do a mix down after the song is complete. I notate the places where I have my knobs. Then, after critiquing any flaws in the mix, I can go back and remix to my liking. Thank you very much. This recording was done on a Tascam front-loading 234 with an archaic graphic equalizer. And I'd like to thank Tim Id Productions for expressing an interest in home tapers, because this is really where it's happening, man, you know what I mean?
And now here's Creatures in My Soup.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Life can't get any better, this song I start swimming the sea. But the soup can that I found in the gutter where Mojo hurt on me. And all creatures in my soup are like 10 face breaks down in the gutter. And all the creatures in my soul got the feelings caught right about the rudder.
Whew, close one.
Life can't get any better than this. I got a 5-year guarantee. And with a strap on fit to jump in the water, I'm the biggest fish in the sea.
Shout out to people who make songs like this. They are perfect.
Crawl out of the soup can in time to reclaim the waterways.
Responding to the Tapeworm's questionnaire. Mark Myers from Nebraska always makes a special effort to be an exception to the rule, even when he doesn't know what the rule is. And in this case, it was he became one of the few people to write out his response to questions, to the brand new questions.
To the new questions, yes.
The only out of the couple dozen.
That's right. It's got to be unique.
All right.
Certainly.
All right, and he says, question 2 on how to. Well, I'm sure you'll get a lion's share of answers from people who have a set system and can tell you all about it, and their egos are screaming to tell someone and get some recognition, and they should. But I try to know as little as possible of what I'm doing. I try to see things differently.
I also try to
hear
know as little as
differently,
possible with what I'm doing.
A different approach each time, which produces music that never sounds the same. I try to be unfamiliar with what I'm doing. That's the satisfaction I get. Then I go back and listen and am delighted at what came out.
And more written responses to our old questions.
Old 17 questions.
And the next question on our
Checking
list
my map here.
is, what form of transportation do you normally use?
Okay, where am I
says
stopping
subway
at?
train?
No, remove that.
My trusty
Yeah, I'm looking to where I'm supposed to be
Oldsmobile
stopping
Omega
at to pick up
with
my
the negative
load.
land bumper sticker
Houston!
says,
Oh my god, this is going to be a long trip.
John
That's
January
fine.
says, an auto. Same here,
And then-
automobile from Scott Orsi.
All right, we got
Boom.
this. We got
And
this, kids.
Foot by Emil
Take out your spicy pickle
Olio.
shots.
And Jack Mesher drives
Get
a
ready.
Toyota pickup, or he uses the local subway.
And Pascal Uni says, uses Valium, smokables, scotch, no-dos, and moldy bread.
What a trip, man.
I don't think you shouldn't eat moldy bread. It's not good for
Personally, I
you.
prefer the hovering hand car.
Yes, or a similar cigar-shaped object. Right.
Hexagon, which there's a lot of
Well,
America
what do
in
you
this
do to
game. I
make
haven't
money?
bought in all of the
Boy, we
states,
had
but I did buy
golf.
Texas because I needed Texas. And I think I have a few others
Due
too.
process.
Yeah,
Emil
don't smoke
Boreal
Valium.
wants
That's
more,
not good for you.
By selling other people's music. John January says that he works within the system that professes to suppress blemishes like me.
Carl Howard does typesetting on a Macintosh.
Scott Orsi says, I used to be a warehouse supervisor, and now I'm still looking for ways. Or is that 4 ways at once? No, 4 ways.
Dave Barnes works in a gift shop.
Just honking
and
the
a,
horn, letting people know that I
museum
want to go.
store. Also, he's received some grants for his serious compositions and plans to be a full-time musician soon. And finally, Pascal Uni says that he works in a slave labor camp donut as a donut technician, local number 666.
Cool.
And we'll have more responses to what you do to make money after we do these legalities here on KFAI 90.3 FM, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Touch the sky.
Boomerang is brought to you by Books and the
Oh, okay.
Public Library.
It ended. All right, let me well, that's over. Let me change. We're back to Boomerang, folks. Let me turn up Boomerang. No, you said you were doing Boomerang.
Boomerang is brought to you by
There we
Books
go.
and the rest of your friends at the public library.
One second, it's gotta switch this layout. All right, kids, time for something normal so people don't get mad at me.
It just seemed like another sad case of people killing each other.
Yeah, let me know if the audio on this is too low.
Freddy, you got a mosquito on you.
No, don't kill it. That's my mosquito.
Your mosquito?
Yep, that's what Albert Schweitzer said to someone when they tried to slap a mosquito on him. He believed all life should be protected.
Well, I'm not Albert Schweitzer. These skeeters are killing me. Tucker, what are you up to?
Well, Chief, I've been spending my noon hours in a dark closet with Mary Jo Burns. Oh, strictly business.
What?
Yeah, right. Jessica and I are talking about a pretty sneaky idea. Something called affirmative action.
Let's see what else we've got here. Rachel has a little wondering about snakes.
Okay.
And get those headphones.
The
ready.
United Snakes
We
of
have
America.
another version of virtual audio. Ladies and gentlemen, start those thinking machines.
Yeah, if you've never listened to Boomerang before,
I'm
it's
Rachel
a
Beck,
unhinged
and I'm one of the Boomerang
children's
kids.
educational
Here to help you
program
keep up
that
with
goes
what's
into some shit.
We've
They
got
go into deep
stories,
issues.
songs, kids' views of the news, and some of the wackiest jokes you'll ever hear. So fire up Dad's old barbecue, put on those headphones, and feed your head.
Boomerang, by the way, none of the issues that you can buy, I think, are on archive, which is nice, but you can actually still purchase old Boomerang episodes from Listen and Learn. They still are out there.
Okay, boomers, let's start off with some letters from you subscribers about the funny things grown-ups do.
Okay.
Here's a letter from Laura Epstein, Andover, Massachusetts.
Dear Boomerang, in public, my mom and dad always call me nicknames that I hate. It's so embarrassing.
We know the feeling, Laura. Then again, it kind of depends what the nickname is.
True.
Tiger isn't so bad. But if it's Poopsie or Puddinhead, that might send us for cover. Here's a letter from Cindy Corey in Escondido, California.
Dear Boomerang, why does my dad say that my brother, who is 12, can build a little shelf? But if I ask my dad if I can make one, he says that I have to wait until I'm 19.
So close.
I tell you, Cindy, we get some pretty tough questions here on Big Talk, but none rougher than this one. Let me see. Did your brother happen to build the shelf that you stacked with your grandmother's antique dishes that cost $3,000? Yes, I thought so. See, your dad just wants a little more experience to go into the next shelf in your house. Try a tie rack, maybe. Finally, here's a letter from Joe Rasso in Truckee, California.
Dear Boomerang, my mom bought me a cookie on the way home. When she made some clam chowder, I said I didn't want it, and she blamed the cookie. How come?
Well, Joe, if that cookie was one of those half-pounders from the chocolate chip factory, she may have a point. But if it was just a little bitty thing, then hey, she must have it in for that cookie.
Yeah,
Cookies
fuck
in
that
the
cookie.
universe. Watch out for Joey Razzo's mother.
That's it for Big Talk. Send us your letters about the funny things grown-ups do, and you might hear it on the next issue of Boomerang.
In elementary school, Albert Schweitzer wasn't exactly a perfect student.
He didn't respond to teachers' questions and couldn't figure out how anyone expected him to learn more sitting inside at a desk than outside with nature.
I'd eat the clam chowder personally. I love clam
His mother cried herself to
chowder.
sleep worrying about Albert's future, and his father, a church pastor, didn't know what to do.
Okay,
As
so
it
the
turned
mall
out, Albert wasn't
in my
lazy.
old
He was
hometown,
just, well, hibernating.
they actually had
At
two
the age
malls,
of
and one of the
14, he
malls
woke up long
had
enough to attend
a
a
food
piano
court
recital
place
in
that
his
sold
hometown in
the
Germany.
best clam chowder I've had in my
Albert was
entire
blown away
life.
by the woman's
I've been
glowing
chasing that
fingers and
high
vowed
to find
practice
that clam
until he
chowder
could play the
ever
piano
since,
like that.
and nothing is as
Over
good.
and over
It
and
was
over,
so fucking
Albert played
good.
the
Oh my
scales.
god.
To ease the boredom, he propped a book up and read while his fingers raced up and down the keys. Suddenly, Albert's mom and dad had a new problem, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
you
just the
can't get
sound of
clam
the piano.
chowder at malls
Their
anymore.
shy and quiet son had exploded into a storm of
It's all
questions.
like,
If someone said the world was round,
actually,
he wanted to know why.
you know, the food court
2 and
at
2
one of the
equals
malls
4?
in Austin
Albert
is
Schweitzer
actually pretty
wanted
good.
proof.
It's like got a bunch of local
Where
businesses.
before he upset teachers with silence, he now did it by arguing with them in class over every little point. His father would take him out of the house only if he agreed not to spoil the day with questions and argument. The bear had awakened, and he was hungry for ideas. Albert's love of thought and discussion helped him earn university's highest degrees in theology, that's religion, and
I
philosophy.
do need
that's
to
the study
go
of
to
ideas.
the Mall of America. I need to
He
go
became a worldwide
to
expert
America's
on not
Mall
only
at
playing
some
organ,
point.
but
It's actually
building them.
something I want to do.
He
I'm
wrote
so
books about God and
curious.
music and philosophy. But
Yeah, I'm
Albert
just-
felt something was missing in his life.
I should probably
and
not
promised
drive in the middle of the
himself that he would
road.
find a
There
way
we
to
go,
serve
there we go.
humankind by the time he was 30. 3 months before his 30th birthday, Albert saw an article in a magazine asking for workers to help the poor people in Africa. Albert had found his mission. The fact that Africa needed doctors a whole lot more than philosophers didn't bother him a bit. Albert simply spent the next 8 years studying medicine, then immediately moved to Africa as a medical doctor. Dr. Schweitzer and his wife, Helene, arrived in the colony of Gabon 3 weeks ahead of the medical equipment. Materials promised to build a hospital had not yet been delivered. The day after the doctor's arrival, there was already a long line of people outside his room waiting for treatment. Not for the sniffles or flu, but for poisonous snake bites, malaria, leprosy, and sleeping sickness. Hospital
What's
equipment or
going on
not,
in my
Dr.
rear
Albert
window?
Schweitzer was the only
And my
medical
rear,
doctor
never
within
mind, it's
1,000
fine.
square miles.
That mirror's fine,
So he
don't worry
cleaned
about
out
it.
an old chicken coop and began seeing patients. I'm going back in time one grandfather ago to 1914 to visit Dr. Schweitzer.
Okay.
He has been in Africa about a year and a half now, healing the local people and building his hospital. I guess I should tell you right off, this isn't the kind of hospital we are used to. The floors are made of dirt and there are no walls, only mosquito netting. Oh, and the only electric light is in the operating room. Dr. Schweitzer?
You must be Josie, the girl who wrote me from America. I do hope your trip wasn't too uncomfortable. Please, some iced tea?
Sure.
I want
thank
iced
you.
tea.
Dr.
I finished my
Schweitzer,
iced
I
coffee,
don't wanna
by the
sound
way.
mean,
It was
but
fine.
this all
They were
seems
on
so
sale this
strange.
week, so I was like,
You're
okay,
one
I'll
of the
try
smartest
this.
people on
Oh,
Earth.
rain's
You've already
happening.
done more
Shit.
than 10 normal people do in
What
their
are my
whole lifetime.
wipers?
And here you are in a poor
one of these is
African
my
village that
wipers.
doesn't even have running
Hey,
water.
I remembered my
working with people who
wipers.
can't even read or write.
You're not the first person to be so concerned, Josie. My mother did not even see us to the train station because she did not approve. Several friends, too, have suggested I could better help the world through my writings. But I have never been able to understand. If my work in Africa is such a waste, how is it that people all over the world
Okay, we're doing good.
have already heard about this tiny hospital?
I guess because what you're doing is so unusual. But there are hundreds of thousands of people who need doctors. Probably millions. You can't help them
Josie,
all.
when I was small, maybe 3 or 4, my mother asked me to pick up my blocks. I had many books, 10, maybe 100. The task seemed absolutely overwhelming. Then my mother took my hand and, together, we picked up the first block. Suddenly, it didn't
Hear that,
seem so
kids? Pick up
impossible
your
after all.
blocks. I wonder if you can hydroplane in this
Oh,
game.
don't be alarmed, my dear. This is my pelican, Pacifier. Ever since I nursed him back to health, he has been rather protective of me. Follows me all over the hospital grounds.
I guess what I'm really asking, Doctor, is why you? How did you decide to give up everything you had for them?
I've been able to bypass so
Generally
many
work
way
for
stations.
some
I'm
sort
so
of reward,
happy.
Josie. Most people work for money. A very pleasant reward indeed. But one that tends to, well, disappear. And when it's gone, what is there? What was all the work for? Some people work for gratitude. Last month, I treated a young girl who was dying of malaria. She got better, and the thankfulness I saw in the eyes of her mother was enough to get me out of bed in the morning for weeks. But one who works for gratitude will soon be disappointed. Sometimes it does not come.
I mean, fair enough.
There are
No one who
truckloads of
you help
people
has to
in
show you
Africa
gratitude.
who would like nothing
Nice if they
better
do,
than
though.
to burn my hospital down.
Why? Who?
Witch doctors mainly. They don't lose their patients to the new doctor on the block.
Witch doctors? You mean they really exist?
Oh yes. Their remedies and cures are no better or worse than those being offered by some quacks back home. Here it is, a witch doctor curing appendicitis.
You know,
by
I'm
blowing
trying to think of
smoke in your
kids
face.
shows that came. Oh, Wishbone
There
is a
is
kids
too.
show that came out of
Sold back into
Texas.
magazines to go
Wishbone
ham
is
with
actually a
those
Texas show, if you can believe it.
Believe me, the results are the same. Where was I?
Barney? Okay,
Oh,
that
yes.
makes sense.
Why me? Josie, my reward is the satisfaction of the work itself.
How can work be a reward?
Yes, it seems difficult to imagine, doesn't it? I suppose it's all the way we look at things. Take this little hospital camp. To most strangers arriving in Lambrine, it's an uncomfortable, difficult place to live. The sewage smells, there are no sheets on the bed, no running water. There are thirsty mosquitoes and heat that bleeds the life right out of you. Yet I have come to love Lambrine because of its very simplicity. Never do I have to ask myself what to do with my
Oh
time.
yeah. A lot
There's
of
always a
voice
line of
acting
people
happens in
outside my
Texas
hospital in
too.
need of help.
A lot of anime voice acting.
We have a purpose and we apply ourselves. The perspiration, even the exhaustion, tells us we're working at our fullest. Then, at the end of the day,
Please say I'm
we
going
sit
the
down
right route.
with some tea and
Please say.
simple food.
Okay, it's the right
and talk
route.
among
Phew.
ourselves.
I can kind of sometimes
For
not
me,
tell
I
which
think.
way I'm supposed to go on the GPS.
Is it so very strange to
You know,
work
they
for
have a
this
way to
simple
have
life?
GPS instructions
Instead of a
on, but I
prettier
turned
suit?
them off because I
Maybe a
figured it'd be
bigger car?
annoying. Now I'm wondering if I should have them
No.
on.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. Still, there must be times.
Oh, yes. There are times, Josie. Times when I want to explode. Times when I do explode. It is then I remember Moshe.
Most people don't explode.
No thanks.
When I was 8 or 9, there was an old man named Moshe who drove a donkey cart through the streets of town every day.
I'm going the wrong way.
For
Fuck.
reasons I didn't understand. The neighborhood boys
Oops.
would always gather to make fun of the man. They would trot alongside.
It's
all
fine.
the while yelling and cheering. Moshe, Moshe. It was very important to me to fit in with the rest of the boys.
It's fine.
So I
I'm going the
joined
wrong way.
until one
Hey,
day,
you know what
Moshe
that is?
turned to us.
That's Minute Maid
Not
State. I'm
regretfully,
sorry, it's called
but
something else
anyway.
now, but that's where the
No,
Astros are if you
he
want to
simply
see some
smiled at
cheating
us.
happening.
From
You
that
can
day
go
on,
there.
I made sure to greet him and shake his hand. Even now, when I feel angry and stormy, I can
Training
usually calm
system.
myself.
Oh, girly Satan, thanks for following.
Tolerant smile.
Doctor, I noticed you just shoo mosquitoes away instead of slapping them.
Yes, well.
And there's a
mosquitoes
convention
can be
center.
nuisance, But I doubt.
I
will
love the
make
Houston
much of
Convention
a
Center. It
dent
looks so
in the
cool.
world's mosquito population
I like
by
Houston. It's been a
murdering
while since
few
I. Well,
here
no,
or
that's
there.
not true. I went last year.
Besides, Josie, many years back, I became convinced that respect for life is perhaps the most important single rule to live by.
Even mosquitoes? What if you knew the mosquito was carrying malaria
It's fine.
and it was about to bite a little baby?
I just added 4 more hours to
Then
my trip.
I
It's
should
cool.
thwart the mosquito, of course. At times, some forms of life must die so that other may live.
But you said...
Yeah, I used to live
I
like
know
close
what
to
I
downtown back in the day when I lived in
One must make
Houston.
decisions on a case-by-case basis, Josie. There's no
I
one
just,
rule
I
or
wish
law
that divider wasn't there so I could have made a cool turn,
Oh,
but
it
there
would
you
be
go.
nice. We could make up a set of rules early in life and never have to think again.
Well,
But life
I
is
got a
not so
speed
easy.
to get there, so let's
It's
see
a
how many
funny
laws
thing,
I can
isn't it?
break.
We humans are blessed with this remarkable brain. and yet we do everything we possibly can to avoid using it. Thinking is the word, alright. Painful even, especially when we must make difficult choices. But it also makes me feel alive.
Cool bridges.
Well, Doctor, I know you have to get up early.
Oh, this is making me miss
Yes,
Houston.
but
Ah,
thank you for coming
Houston's so
to see me,
cool.
Josie. I'm honored. And please, hold on to your ideals.
What do you mean?
Young people often believe that anything is possible.
That's true.
That all war can stop. And all people can be helped. That even the life of one small butterfly is important. These beliefs are called ideals.
Oh, I can turn
When
right
I
over
was
here.
small,
Watch this.
I listened to grown-ups talk about ideals, as if they were silly
Oh,
ideas
there's a barrier
to
there.
be left
That's
behind
fine.
with flower necklaces and toy trains. I hated adults telling me not to dream, and I decided I would hold on to my dreams as if they were the secret
It's fine.
of life itself. For indeed,
It's fine,
they may
everybody.
be.
It's fine.
We see no power
It's
in a drop
fine.
of water, but let it get
It's
into a
totally
crack in the rock
fine.
and turn to ice.
It's fine. It's
split
fine. It's
It just
fine.
seemed like
Let
another
the water be
sad
turned
case
to steam,
of people killing
and it
each
can
other.
drive a powerful engine. As long as ideals are simply thoughts, they may be useless.
Visit
But
service
combine them with
immediately.
action,
You don't say.
and they become the most powerful force.
My life is nothing but pain.
Except for a few trips back to Europe to raise money, Dr. Schweitzer spent the rest of his years in Africa. 51 more years to be exact. His hospital grew larger and larger. Dozens
Let's
of
fix my
volunteers from all
car.
over the world showed up to work. Some stayed
I'm
10
fine.
days, some stayed 10 years. Why? What was it about the little hospital in the crocodile country? It was the man who built it. A man who showed African
fine.
people qualities they'd never
Fucking
seen before in a
fine.
white person. Kindness and concern without asking anything in return. A man who showed the world that one person can make a difference. In the end, even more important than what Dr. Schweitzer did for others was what others have done because of him. People who, after hearing about
Okay,
his
that ended up
sacrifice,
helping me.
dedicated the rest of their
Now it's
lives
going to take a
helping
shorter
the
amount of
less
time to get
fortunate.
there, so that's cool.
People like you and I who are inspired to offer our hand. Or maybe, like Mausch, our smile. This is Josie Mayer with another turning point in world history.
Welcome
Hi.
to the world of virtual audio.
It's fine.
Put your headphones on.
What? ASMR shit?
Close your eyes.
No, I can't close my eyes. I'm driving.
With me to a new dimension in sound.
Yeah, that sounded like a.
Alright, how does the water feel? It's not too hot? Just shout if it gets too hot, okay?
Am I getting my hair washed?
Now I'll just put a little bit of conditioner on just to calm out the tangles and then be all set ready.
Yeah, I hope everyone likes the water sounds.
Okay, that should do it.
Don't worry about the truck taking a piss. We just sometimes you gotta, when you gotta go, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna open the door and just let it loose while I drive. Is there a cow at the hair salon? But what's the cow doing here? I wonder how fast I can go in this game. What?
It's not just a dream.
Why is this somehow weirder than the Tapeworm's guide?
It's not just a dream. It's not just a dream.
What the fuck?
It's not.
Come on, man.
It's not just a dream. It's not just a dream.
Hey, hey, what the fuck? Not just a dream, folks. We're not fast I can go.
Morgan? Come on. Let's go. Come on. So, what did you think of this? What did you think of this demo?
I think it's fucking freaky.
Morgan, let's go. Morgan, come on. Power, please. I need power. Power.
Give me full power.
Let's have some power, Captain.
It's cool. I slowed down. I slowed down. Because I knew I wasn't going to be able to take these turns.
When I was 8 years old, I watched the kids all summer long doing flips into the pool. I wanted to do one so badly, but I was chicken. I remember seeing Jack Roberts' face when he came up after landing on his back, and it wasn't pretty. All winter long, I thought about doing the flip. I pictured it in my mind when I was walking to school. I dreamt about it. On the first day the pool was opened, as soon as I showered, I walked over to the diving board and went to the end. My big brother told me it was all about tucking your head to your chest. My dad said it was important to drive your elbows down and tuck down tight. I took 3 little hops and tucked my head in, threw my elbows down, and grabbed onto my legs like they were in danger of falling off. When I felt like I was around enough, I straightened out and went to the water. Head first. I had done a 1.5. I still had to learn to do a flip, but it felt pretty good just the same.
Right, I think I'm gonna make it. My driving is definitely... I like to think that I'm a drunk driving simulator, but I don't drink, so I'm just a bad driver.
Snake.
Snake.
Any of numerous species
Chuck and
of
Jacks.
scaly, limbless reptiles with long, slim bodies and tapering tails. I wonder, Mr. Snake, what's it like to be on the top 10 list of things people hate the most? To be so slimy that when someone catches even the briefest glimpse of your tail, they either shriek and run the other way, or reach for a rock to smash in your head.
Jesus!
I mean, this has to be tough on the old ego. For someone that isn't around much, Snakey, you sure have gotten a bad name for yourself. Maybe it's that hypnotic stare.
Yeah,
It
snakes
makes
aren't
the kid
slimy at
nervous,
all.
You know. But hey, why blink if you don't have to? You see through the lower eyelid, which is permanently stuck to the upper one. So go ahead and stare. I'm not nervous. In fact, I think we should crawl into your scaly hand-me-downs and try looking at a snake's life from the ground up. If people understood just how well you do with what little you have, maybe our fear would turn into a little well-deserved respect. I mean, here you are, laying out on the highway, trying to catch some rays. I could probably suggest a few safer places to sunbathe. But hey, I understand. That steaming black asphalt probably feels pretty good to you. So you're flat on your stomach, no arms, no legs, and you hear something rumbling behind you. Well, actually, you don't really hear
That's
it coming.
a long-ass
because
drive.
snakes don't have ears. You might see it.
We're moving
coming,
wood
but just
shavings.
don't, because snakes aren't known for their vision. Your sense of smell is great, but let's face it, smelling truck can be pretty difficult, especially when it's coming at you at 50 miles per hour. Luckily, you can feel it. First instinct, you freeze. That doesn't do much good. Better raise your head. Try to look bigger. Maybe scare it off. Uh-oh. How about a little hissing noise? It worked on that little boy. Well, looks like it's time to ski-daddle. You have some pretty strong muscles along your sides that you relax and contract to get whipping back and forth, and hopefully you make it to the side of the road. Or, happy hour at the Asphalt Club is all over. Snakes look pretty fast to us, but most of that's an optical illusion. They don't get a lot of distance out of all that slithering. In fact, the speedster of the species, the African black mamba, can ramp up to an 11-mile-per-hour sprint. But even in full wiggle, the fastest snake in our neck of the woods can only manage the speed of a fast-paced walk.
Okay, that's
If
not
you're
so
a
bad.
snake, there are two things
All
on
right,
your
let's see
mind.
if I can do this,
Eating
folks.
and not getting eaten yourself. It's not unusual for snakes to go a month without eating. Some have been known to go without food for as long as a year. After all, finding dinner isn't as easy as just looking for the golden arches. Not that you couldn't smell your way to a Big Mac, but you know the sign on the door. No shirt, no shoes, no surface. One advantage snakes do have is that cool little forked tongue. I remember walking in snowstorms, face up to the sky, mouth open, my tongue darting out to bring in a tasty snowflake. Snakes use their nifty number to help feel their way down deep, dark passages.
All right, folks, I think we got it.
They have an extra organ located on the roof of their mouth with two little holes just waiting for the tongue to bring back treasures to identify.
Come on!
Tastes like frog leg in the head. Snakes can also detect
fine.
heat and sunlight through special groups of nerve endings in their skin. Mostly, these are used in finding warm spots to
Boom.
sunbathe in.
I'm getting better at
Though
this.
Some boas, pythons, and pit vipers have specialized heat detectors on their face.
All right.
That can locate a warm.
We've got
blooded
40
spot in
hours
the
to go
gut
to
almost
Oregon,
2
kids.
feet
We are
away.
not going to do it on this stream, but we
use
will
their
go as
nostrils
far
and
as I
tongue.
can within the
Finding
last
a
30
rat
minutes
is
of the
easy for a
tape.
snake. Catching one and eating it is another matter. Snakes usually have to walk their jaws over dinner rather than just swallowing it.
Gross.
A snake's noggin and jawbone
2,350
They can
miles.
bend
It's the
and
longest trip I've ever
contort
made in
to
this
slip
game.
around their meals. The throat alone takes up about a third of the body. And just in case it gets hard to breathe between gulps, they have special long windpipes that slip out and over their tongues into the open air. Most snakes can swallow objects about as large as themselves. No big deal, you say. Except some of the bigger guys can reach up to 30 feet long and weigh in at a couple 100 pounds.
Cool.
You know what that means, right?
No.
They have been known to swallow small pigs, emus, dogs, and yes, reports of a baby human or two. One famous python slipped into the royal palace in Siam and swallowed the king's favorite cat, Belle, and all. The crafty serpent would have gotten away with it had his belly not been too full to squeeze back out the hole it snuck in through. Once a snake has an animal in its jaws, swallowing isn't
This is like,
It's the holding down
again,
part that can
every
sometimes be a
time we listen to
problem.
Boomerang, it's the most
Some
depressing
snakes
shit on
simply
earth.
suffocate
It's
their
very
prey
interesting.
By squeezing them with their choppers. Others, like pythons, use their long bodies
A
to
clip,
slowly
you know
coil
what?
around
These were
their prey,
actually,
preventing it from
if you look at the
breathing and
website, it
finally
is advertised for
suffocating
homeschoolers, but for
Snakes are
like
pretty powerful
normal
spirits that can
homeschoolers,
dissolve
not for
everything from
fundamentalist
feathers to
homeschoolers. It's
bones.
very interesting.
More dangerous types, like the cobra and rattlesnake, inject poisonous venom into their victims. But hey, there's a few bad eggs in every family. And it's not like they don't give people fair warning.
That is true.
Maybe
Rattlesnakes
if we
do give you
humans battled
warning.
or hissed before we got nasty, we wouldn't have to fight wars. But remember, most snakes aren't the dangerous types. For all the snakes we ever see, hundreds more have been watching us silently from the underbrush. The chances of getting bitten by a snake are pretty slim. In the United States,
I've never been
more than
bitten by a
twice as
snake,
many
by the
people
way.
are killed
Just wanted to
each
brag.
year by bee,
You know what's funny? I
wasp,
say
and
that, I'm going to
scorpion
get bitten by a
bites,
snake.
as
I
by
know I
snake
am. I
bites.
can't brag about that.
Some people actually consider snakes to be perfect pets. After all, except for an occasional hiss or two, they're quiet. They don't eat much, and you never have to buy them a new collar or get them shots. Snakes never stop growing, so every once in a while, when their suit feels too tight, they molt by loosening the skin around their lips and crawling right out of it. I think this is ultimate cool. In fact, I wouldn't mind changing my skin every once in a while myself. Beats
Okay.
taking a bath. Except I can just hear my mom yelling
They
at
haven't
me,
made these since I
"Rachel,
want to say
pick up your
2012. But yeah, this ran until the 2010s.
Every time Mr. Rattlesnake goes in for a new suit, he keeps a souvenir, a hollow button, to add to his rattle. The bigger the rattle, the larger the snake. I tell you right now, Snakey, I think you guys are pretty remarkable. Plus, you seem to eliminate the other thing my mom hates most. Rodents! Not my idea of a tasty after-school snack, but somebody's gotta eat them.
That's
I wonder, little
true.
racer, do you think
I
she'll
guess.
let me keep you? This is Rachel with another natural wonder.
I guess that was a natural wonder.
Whopper Whopoo. Hey there, groovy guys and groovy gals. This is Devin the Dove, your Boomerang DJ, talking at you from the smile on your dial. Boom! Radio. Everyone seems to be talking about plots these days. The gun guys believe the United Nations is plotting to take over the world. My brother thinks I have a plot to take over the good end of the couch when we watch TV. But ladies and gentlemen, I have uncovered a real plot. A plot that is so nefarious, it will make your goose pimples jump to attention. Someone is trying to shorten summer. You think I'm paranoid? I don't think so. Ask your mom and dad. They were doing a school picnic on June 4th or 5th. Now some kids are still doing dividends and remainders on June 21st. I mean, come on. That's just 2 weeks before the 4th of July. And the
I
day
agree.
after the 4th of July, the wise guys started putting up back-to-school sale signs in the store windows. Now you tell me, how can any self-respecting kid keep his mind on catching minnows and pop flies with pencils and rulers staring us in the face every time we go into town? So that's how long they give us for summer now. June 21st to July 5th. That's 2 stinking weeks, boomers, and that's not right. In fact, it's downright un-American. So, my friends, I have a plan to stop this short enough summer plot dead in its tracks. First, all schools must be out by June 5th. Yeah, I know it's 2 weeks before the season of summer even starts, but a kid has to warm up, you know. Second, anyone wishing to make the observation on June 22nd that the days will be getting shorter from here on out will do so in a shoestring, because that's one place I know I won't be. Third, no leaves will be allowed to fall before August 15th. Yeah, I know, this might be a tough one to enforce, but I'm sorry. Leaf piles remind me of Rachel.
I
and
miss
Rachel
the
remind me
off-ramp,
of you know
kids.
what. 4, football season cannot start until baseball season is over. If there's one worse thing than seeing a leaf pile in the middle of July, it's seeing a football game on TV. Finally, 5. Families will agree to boycott any store mentioning school in their newspaper ads or windows before August 31st. That leaves 4 or 5 days to school shop, and that's plenty. I mean, come on. How long does it take to buy new sneakers and a backpack? That's my plan, Boomers. It's not guaranteed to get all the scammers out of this nasty plot. But if you follow these directions, it should at least squeeze out a couple more days of hanging out by the Dairy Queen. Right, your congressman, from a treehouse.
I do like hanging out by the Dairy Queen.
This is Devin the Dove, coming at you live from Smile on Your Dial. Boom Radio.
Imagine listening to a radio station and it just starts telling you about all the things that snakes eat.
What's the big idea?
Michael and John were best friends and
I didn't mean to do a desert bus to my steering wheel. No, it does. I don't mean to keep drifting left. I'm just not good at this.
Lowell High School, a school that's well known for being really good. So good, they don't have enough spots for everyone who wants to go. John got in, Michael didn't.
So Michael's just jealous, huh?
I'd say angry is a better word, because Michael has better grades and test scores than John.
Well, why didn't he get in?
Because Michael is Chinese American. Lowell already has too many Chinese Americans, so they take white students with lower scores.
Huh? Are you kidding? That's nutso. How can you have too many anybody's? It shouldn't matter what color your skin is. If you work really hard and get good grades, you should get rewarded.
The really weird thing is, Michael was turned away because of a program that's supposed to make things fair for everyone.
Well, they're talking about affirmative action, so if you all want to tune out during what I assume is going to be a very obnoxious segment, because I don't know how they're going to handle this.
Says, all men are created equal.
Yeah, it didn't take us long to ignore that part either. Some of the people who helped write those very words owned slaves.
That's true, kid.
It was a whole century later before Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery, but Afro-Americans were still far from equal. They had to go to separate schools and hospitals. They had to live in certain parts of town. It wasn't until 1954 the Supreme Court said, look, equal means equal. Separate but equal doesn't cut it. Discrimination was now against the law.
Don't tell me our difficult word detector tripped over that one. Discrimination means to act towards someone with prejudice. In other words, treating people differently because of the color of their skin or where their parents were born.
In 1960, discrimination was illegal, but all those years of it had already left their mark on our country. If you took a group picture that year of all the people who made big-time decisions or big-time money in America, the picture would look like vanilla ice cream with a dark speck here and there. Whether it was baseball coaches or business bosses or college professors or senators, they were almost all white and almost all...
I mean, this is much better than I was expecting.
Is that because white men were smarter or better than women or people of other colors? I don't think so. It was because they were the ones making the rules.
Affirmative, that means positive or helpful. Action means doing something.
President Kennedy was the first person to use the phrase affirmative action. He said schools and companies should try really hard to get people of different races. A few years later, President Johnson used the phrase again, saying, hey, it's not enough to agree not to do anything bad anymore. We have to do something good. We need to offer a special hand to Afro-Americans and other minorities who had been discriminated against all this time.
It was under the next president, President Nixon, that this special hand was really offered. Our government actually told the building industry that they had to hire...
Yeah, that's actually the interesting thing about these tapes is that as much as homeschool is thought of as like a fundamentalist thing, these tapes are not fundamentalist in the least. They're very interesting.
You have to have.
Like sometimes when we have baseball games in my neighborhood, each team has to have so many kids and so many grown-ups.
Yup, exactly. And that kind of makes sense, because most grown-ups can hit the ball farther than kids. But it gets a little weird when you have to pick a certain number of different races. Imagine going out on the baseball field to pick up sides for a game, and having a rule that you have to pick at least 3 white kids, at least 2 Hispanic, 3 Asian, and 4 Afro-Americans.
That's probably how it would end up anyway, because you pick the best kids first, and the best kids are all different colors. But it sure would make picking sides awfully complicated. And I don't know, it seems kind of silly. The problem all started because of discrimination. Now 200 years later, we're lumping people together by their color. It's wrong.
Well, we're doing it to right a wrong.
How can you right a wrong with another wrong?
Yeah, well, it's complicated.
Look, they don't call me the king of complicated stuff for nothing. Come on, Jessica, we can solve this one step at a time. Let's say you live in a town
Listen.
with 3 schools.
I don't need. It's good for me to run red light. Listen, we got kids. We got 38 hours to haul these wood shavings to Oregon. So red lights don't mean anything to me. And I turned off the law, so I don't got to worry about that.
Classes start at 10, school gets over at noon, and free popcorn all day long.
Right. You've got more important decisions to make. Your school holds 200 students, and you've only got 199. All the kids at the other schools want that spot, but you've narrowed the candidates down to 2, Candace and Betty. Candace and Betty are about the same except for 2 things. Betty has slightly better grades and test scores.
Then it's simple. Betty's my new student.
Thing number 2 is that Candace is black and Betty is white.
I'm colorblind. I don't care if Betty's green and Candace is purple.
Oh, that's better. Much better. Betty is green and Candace is purple. And since you're colorblind, it may interest you to know that the town is 1/2 green and 1/2 purple. But out of all 200 at your school, only 10 are purple.
Why?
They can't qualify for hometown. You know what that word means, right? You qualify for a roller coaster if you're 4'6". You qualify for a ping pong tournament by winning
You
games.
qualify for a roller
You qualify
coaster.
for
I
college
like
by having a
that.
good school record and good experience at other jobs. And you qualify for school by having good
Hey!
grades and tests and things like that.
What the fuck?
So why don't more purple people qualify?
Did you
for my
all
school?
see that?
Oh, just a little misunderstanding.
What do you mean?
Oh, the Greens
I didn't
kidnapped
do
all the purple
that!
people from their own country a while back and kept them in chains for a few
Holy
hundred
shit,
years,
it wasn't
not
my
allowing
fault
them to
for
go to school.
once.
So some of the purple kids are, well, a little behind.
You call that a misunderstanding? Being kidnapped and chained up?
Oh, it's okay now. That slavery stuff is long over. Some of the purples are doing just fine. The rest of them still get to go to school at one of those other 2 places.
That is not the point. If some of them are behind because what the greenies did, they need better school, not a worse one, or they're going to fall even further behind.
You're probably right. So what are you going to do about it?
First off, Candace comes to my school. Not only that, I'm going to find a way to get a whole bunch more purple students in too.
But that's not
Yeah,
the
no,
thing.
no. I remember in the
got better
90s,
grades
there
and
were
tests.
hippie parents who used to
So did every other
homeschool,
green kid who's
like,
gonna be
because they were
replaced.
like, well,
Well, maybe
I want my,
grades and
they were
tests
like,
are
listen,
the
I
only
want to
important
tell my,
things about
you
a
know,
person.
they were like, I
Maybe
want to teach
Candace
my
had to
kids
work
about
a
the
whole
real
lot
world,
harder
and
to
then they
get
would
her
just do a
grades.
bunch of hippie stuff.
If so, that should be good for something. If you work hard, you should be rewarded for it.
That sounds right.
I have
Anyways,
another
I'm gonna
reason
honk
to
at these
think it
guys.
is, too. It's important for kids at our school to work and play together with kids of all different colors. So I'm going to pick Candace not only to help her, but to help all the other kids at our school.
There you go again, favoring people by the color of their skin. That's how we got into this mess.
And that's the only way to get out of the mess. Sure, it would be nice to be colorblind, but you can't pretend all of that didn't happen. It's like cheating in basketball. For most
This
of the game
is
by
turning
tying
out
the other
better
team's
than I
legs
was
together
expecting.
And untying them and saying, okay, now we'll play fair.
Okay, I see your point, but let's say I'm purple, you're green. You haven't hurt anyone. You've never owned any slaves or held anyone back. Still, you're left out of the good school. So some of my purple friends who don't have as good of grades as you can get in. That stinks. You're getting A's just like the purple people did years ago. I'll tell you what else stinks. I've worked hard to be better than everyone, you included. You're not going to know which purple kids worked hard and which didn't. I've worked so hard to gain people's respect, but you're not going to like me. You're going to think I got in just because of the color of my skin, that I'm cheating. There's never a good reason for picking people by their skin color.
What about their arms and hands?
Huh?
Do you think it's wrong to discriminate against right-handed people?
Yeah.
But baseball teams do it all the time. They hire someone just because he pitches the ball with his left hand instead of his right one.
That's kind of different.
It is?
What about polka-dotted people?
Polka-dotted people?
Okay. One-legged people with warts on their noses. Why don't you make special preferences for them?
One-legged people with warts on their noses weren't kidnapped and brought to America as slaves.
Well, Native Americans weren't kidnapped either. The government sure kidnapped their land, though. Chinese people were brought over to America as indentured servants and forced to work on the railroads. Don't they deserve extra preference, too? Pretty soon there won't be any jobs or places in school for white people, and they're gonna get...
That's already happened. In 1991, a man named Baki wasn't let into medical school in California because he was white and they already had too many whites. He said he was being discriminated against, and the judge agreed.
Man, we've worked so hard to get the people to get along with each other and forget about what color we are. Now it seems like we're doing it all over again. Well, Jessica, you were right about one thing anyway. This stuff is complicated.
Conclusions, kids, it's complicated, I guess.
About any of it.
All right. Hey, they didn't tell me that my car sucked like they usually do.
A certain number of people this color have to be hired, and a certain number of people this color have to be admitted to school. But the spirit of affirmative action is still alive and kicking. When President Clinton was elected, he didn't use the word affirmative action. What he did say was that he was going to get top people to work for him. People who looked like America.
Oh, I'd hate to be the guy who had to look like Rhode Island. You know, dinky with this little tail.
That's not what he meant, and you know it.
All right, no, that was actually, that got a laugh out of me, kid. That was pretty funny. I'm sorry.
His first White House group included 3 women, 4 Afro-Americans, and 3 Hispanics. The president was saying that good, smart, hardworking people don't come in only one flavor.
Alone, a G sounds no better than an A flat, or A, or C. Imagine if the world's composers, let's say Rossini, believed in harmonial purity. Let's say he had this thing against other notes and wrote his songs with only the note G.
I don't know. I guess you could dance to it, but I'd give it a 1.5.
If America doesn't make use of all of our people, that's what our music would sound like too. It's only when we give those C sharps and Fs and B flats a chance to sing that America truly becomes the amazing country it can be.
All those years of
go off, kids, go off.
Dug our country into a big hole. And if you've ever been in a big hole, you know it takes a while to get out.
That's true.
Affirmative action is one tool America is trying to use. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It would be a whole lot better if we helped everyone be all that they could be right from kindergarten by having good schools for everyone.
All of us have something to contribute to making our country.
I love the utopianness of 90s kids media. It's so
and that's
pleasant.
The big idea.
Every 10 years, our government sends a questionnaire to every person in the country to find out stuff about the American people. They ask questions like, do you own a car? How much money do you make? Do you have any pets? To tell you the truth, those kinds of questions don't really tell us what we want to know about all of you listeners out there. So this year, we will be conducting our very own Boomerang Kids Census. We don't care about your microwave oven. We want to know important stuff, like,
what's the best way to avoid eating what you don't like on your dinner plate?
My name is Max, I'm 11 years old, and I live in Palm Beach, California. If I wanted to avoid eating something on my plate, I'd scrape it into my napkin, give it to my mother, she'd say she had to go to the bathroom, and she'd throw it away. My name is Alexa Wing, I'm 9 years old, and I live in Fort Settlement, Louisiana. My mom served me olives. I don't really like olives, and I don't like the taste, so I would wait till she leaves the room, I would go over to the garbage can, and I would put them in the garbage.
Okay.
My name's Abel Sever. I live in Oxford, Pennsylvania, and I'm 12 years old. The kind of food I don't like is lima beans mixed in with black beans, and if I found some of it on my plate, I would just take a little bit first, taste it, and then if I didn't like it, I would ask to be excused from eating it.
Hi, my name is Austin Calhoun. I'm 14 years old. I'm from Lincolnia Park in Virginia. When I don't like to eat something that's on my plate, well, it's kind of embarrassing, but I haven't done it in a long time. I put it in my mouth, and then I ask to be excused to the bathroom. And when I'm in the bathroom, I spit it out into the toilet, and then I flush the toilet.
If you want to be part of our Kids Census, write down your name and phone number, and some Saturday morning, we might give you a call.
Oh God, it's the joke section.
Why did the jogger go to the vet? Because his calves were hurting.
That's fucking terrible, kids.
What did the baby chick say when he saw an orange in its mother's nest? Look at the orange marmalade.
Okay, good. I'm going the right way. Okay, phew.
How do you make a jam sandwich? You take 2 pieces of bread and jam them together.
These are bad. These are worse than usual. I respect it.
How do you fit 5 elephants in a Volkswagen? 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 1 in the glove compartment.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Banana black. Isn't say orange again.
Why do seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels.
I heard that joke before recently. I want to say it was in an episode of The Penguin.
The names are Go Jump in a Lake, None of Your Beeswax, and Trouble. Trouble got lost, so none of your beeswax and Go Jump in a Lake went to look for him. A cop pulled them over for speeding and said to one of the guys,
"What's your name?"
"Go jump in a lake."
"Well, what's your name, Buster?"
"None of your beeswax."
"Hey, are you guys looking for trouble?"
"Yeah, have you seen him?"
Naming my kid Go Jump in a Lake.
Now for all the news you missed while you were asleep. This is your news update.
Okay.
You probably heard about that Air Force guy who was shot down over Bosnia and survived for 6 days by eating bugs, right?
I forgot about
Everyone
him.
went, ugh, when they heard about that. But lots of people wondered what the big deal was. Over 500 species of grasshoppers, crickets, bees, and wasps are eaten somewhere in the world. People from Bolivia and South America pop leafcutter ants into their mouth like peanuts. You've had tacos, right? Well, sometimes restaurants in Mexico replace the refried beans with ant eggs cooked in butter. Mmm. And grasshoppers are TV snacks in Thailand. Scientists say termites have maybe 6 or 7 calories per gram. Maybe I'll try them when they develop a low-cal breed. This just in from an expert on American eating habits. If you eat your cake and frosting at the same time, you are a real weirdo. Only 3 out of 100 people do that. 69 people eat the cake first, and the rest, let's see, 28, eat the frosting first. Let's guess, boomers, what do you think the average age is for all those frosting first eaters?
I guess that's news.
These kids have some stories. Bertina Domingo and her 9-year-old sister Bernadette were out for a walk in the Amazon jungle recently with their uncle. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. They're members of a South American Indian tribe there. Anyway, their uncle got lost and sick in that order. Then he died, leaving the girls all alone there in the jungle for a month. The good news is that the Amazon has plenty of berries and wild fruit. The bad news is the jungle also has its share of insects, 100-pound snakes, and crocodiles. Once they were even chased up a tree by a jaguar. Their family had given up on their search, and it was a
What did I
good month
hit? Oh well, I must hit a rock or
so
something.
the next time you get lost at the shopping mall, don't feel sorry for yourself.
Hey kids, what if your parents got lost and died? Well, have a good
The reason you
day.
never see the hump on Joe Camel's back is because it was cancerous and had to be removed. All of you out there who are jealous of Josie every time she pops into the time machine to go back and visit Leonardo da Vinci, there is hope. Stephen Hawking, a physics professor who makes science interesting for us kids, says time and space are kind of warped. There may be just enough warping to really allow people to travel back in time. Make your travel plans today.
I should have pulled over to get gas, but it's okay. We'll find another place to pull over for gas.
Finally, we go to Tootle, Washington, where our highly trained toxic spill team, all dressed up in protective
And
gear,
I'm going the wrong
inspected a
way.
mountain of green
It happens.
jelly-like stuff. 2 hikers found the stuff on an old logging road, and it didn't take long for them and a sheriff's deputy to get sick while they poked around in it. Authorities warned the public the material was highly corrosive and perhaps life-threatening. What could it be? A high school lab experiment run amok? A strange life form from outer space? Try a bunch of old disposable diapers that had deteriorated into a mound of gunky gel.
Ew!
For all of you out there with baby brothers and sisters, I don't believe I need to say any more. This is Michelle Tom with your news update. And if you don't like the news, go out and make some of your own.
Okay. Prime rib! Prime rib!
My name is Tucker Jones.
Delicious.
I'm a private eye.
Aye.
There are 752 stories in the town I call home. This is one of them.
God, I haven't had prime rib in years.
A kid's life is never boring. If it's not the chicken pox, it's tangled slinkies. Still, there are the times when life kind of flattens out just enough for someone like Tara Patterson to stop by your locker and knock the stuffing out of you. Tucker, could you meet me in the broom closet? To some people, that may sound like a pretty weird invitation.
Yeah.
To me, it meant just one thing. I was going into the PK. When I was 4 years old, I wanted to be a bulldozer driver. At 6, it was a lion tamer. But by the time I hit 2nd grade, there was only one thing in the world that held any excitement for me. I wanted to be a patrol kid. Patrol kids have it all. They get out of school early, they get to boss people around, and best of all, they get this cool patrol kid belt that you wear around when you're on duty. PKs are like the midi school police. They stop cars at intersections and let kids walk across the street. They keep kids off the grass and yell at them for running on the sidewalk. Other than that, well, they just look cool. I was never really sure how you got to be a patrol kid. No one was. Not really. I remember one day, about 10 minutes before the bell rang, seeing Lester Mayfield get up out of his desk with this important look on his face that all patrol kids have when they get to leave early. I couldn't believe it. Lester Mayfield, a patrol kid. But 3 weeks later, it seemed as if Lester was born to be a PK. Off the grass, Jones!
PK out of the shadows. Sorry.
Now, for whatever reason, it was my turn to shine. Tara Patterson, captain of the patrol kids, grabbed a gleaming new white patrol belt down from the shelves and handed it to me. Jones, my friends tell me you're a detective. That's right. Good, then. We'll make this sweet and simple. We're adding you to the patrol on a special assignment. You do well, and you're on the squad permanently. We've got a dirty kid on the squad, and I want you to find him. I couldn't quite understand why they needed a detective to find a couple of dirty kids, but being a professional, my mind was already racing through the possibilities. Cynthia Lickman sometimes empties cow manure out of her boots, and Dave Camelo always comes to school with grass stains on his pants. Tara somehow sensed I was drifting off in the wrong direction and shook her head. Dirty is cop talk for dishonest. It's lunchroom candy. Some of it's disappearing and the principal thinks it's a patrol kid. My eyes blew up big time. A patrol kid? Stealing candy? Don't look so surprised, Jones, Tara scoffed. It's a crazy mixed up world out there. Look, I don't like the idea of one of my people dishonoring the belt. And, to tell you the truth, I have my doubts.
I'd steal candy.
But I promised the principal I'd look into it. Here's a list of 3 kids on candy detail. 2 Bits says it's Mark Hall. He's got a serious licorice problem. See if you can find anything and report it back.
A serious licorice problem, huh?
I went outside and slumped down against the flagpole to figure out my first move. I could see why the principal suspected the patrol kids. Anybody under the age of 15 had the motive, but PKs were the only ones with the opportunity. See, at lunchtime, a whole tray of candy is wheeled out of the broom closet and into the cafeteria for kids to buy. Jawbreakers, red licorice, candy necklaces, red hot dollars. Patrol kids are in
Red
charge
hot
of making sure the
dollars?
candy is there at noon and gone at 1 o'clock. The only window of opportunity to snarf the goods is
Aren't
the
they just
moment
red hot?
do it
I don't
to
know,
bring
whatever.
the tray out of the closet or put it back in. I studied the list of suspects. Mary Jo Burns, Mike Stripe, and Mark Hall. I could see why Captain Patterson put the thumb on Hall. Not that he was such a bad guy. It's just the other two were simply out of the question. Mary Jo had been a teacher's pet ever since the 2nd grade. Her idea of dishonesty would be reading over someone's shoulder on the bus. Mike Stripe may appear to be a logical choice. One of 10 kids who lived in this broken-down house outside of town. He was the only kid in school hungry enough to clean his plate on Chipped Beef Day at the cafeteria. But Mike also happened to be the nicest kid at school, and I was willing to bet my entire fee that he wasn't the one. That left Mr. Wise Guy. Water balloons, slingshots, magic tricks. The only time Mark's lips were buttoned was when Miss Schuler asked him a math question. There was only one way to solve this case: surveillance. I got permission from the principal to leave for lunch 10 minutes early and squirreled myself into the broom closet, behind a pile of school supplies with a perfect view of the candy cart. The first day was Mike Stripe's turn. As scheduled, he wheeled the cart out and back in without so much as a second look at the now-and-laters or Smarties. To make matters worse, Mom put lettuce in my sandwich, and in the dark, I didn't see it until it was too late. The next day, it was Mary Jo's turn. She was out of the closet in record time, but when she brought the tray back in after lunch, she hesitated. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. The tension was building as her eyes licked every last fireball on the tray like an 11-year-old in a broom closet with $100 worth of candy staring her in the face. Then, with a cute little smile, she licked her chops and shut the door. Oh man, I didn't know how to feel. I certainly didn't want to be the one to reveal Miss Goody Two-Shoes as a sneaky thief, but I wouldn't mind getting this assignment over with either. Eating bologna sandwiches in the dark behind
And look at that, it's a
50,000
gas
packs of
station.
construction paper was definitely getting old. The next day was Mr. Hall's turn. At first I thought my cover was blown. The lunch bell had already rung and Mark still hadn't checked out.
That's fine.
I was about to find out what was going on when the door swung open and Mark zipped off with the candy tray. He brought the tray back right on time.
Don't back into me, jackass!
Candy right into his pants pockets.
Stop
it! Pinned with the beam of my flashlight.
He's backing into me!
You were
okay.
going to pay for that, weren't
Thank
you,
you,
Mark?
I'm just gonna go
Who's
this
that?
way.
Tucker? What are you doing here? Oh, I enjoy the romantic atmosphere of a dark broom closet when I'm having lunch. What's that in your pants pocket there, Mark?
Hey, it's Hodaburger!
Just then, Tara opened the door. Just as I thought, she said with a satisfying grin. Cool down, guys. I paid for all this, Mark said quietly. Check the money can, you'll see. Tara grabbed his arm. Don't worry, Mark. We'll count the money. In the meantime, let's say we pay a visit to your locker.
It's fine. No one's gonna hit me. Just gotta...
Seemingly confused, Mark led us down the hallway to his locker. He nervously twirled the combination lock and swung the door open. There, on the bottom of his locker, was an unopened package of licorice. How did this get in here? He protested. Jeepers, Mark, said Tara. Beats me. Maybe the stork delivered it. We better go see the principal. Tara marched him up to the office.
Okay,
but something didn't fit. There was no way Mark had time to filch the licorice when he checked the tray out. And it had been 2 weeks since he had done candy detail. Surely he wouldn't wait that long to eat the evidence. I picked up the licorice bag and noticed that the cellophane was slit on one side, and a couple of strands were kind of mangled. I checked the skinny holes at the top of the locker. It looked to me
all right, kids, get your super juice, get your pickle shots.
I ran my fingers through the holes, and they came out sticky, as if someone had forced a package of licorice through them. When Tara went back to her locker after the last bell, I was there to meet her. Good job, Jones. I guess we got our man. She opened the locker just enough to slide her coat out, and for my foot to get in. Oh, sorry, Tara. What big feet I have.
Get back on the
door
road.
bounced wide open to reveal a whole case of M&Ms.
Yeah, we're gonna get a hot
Tara's
burger.
eyes met mine. Harsh.
Oh
Don't
no.
be a doofus, Jones.
No, you're not getting... Yes, the truck is free! The truck is free!
Never wear a patrol belt again. Sorry, Captain. That belt won't feel the same if it's dirty. Besides, I don't like M&Ms. It was Tara who ended up losing her patrol belt. Mark Hall was cleared of any wrongdoing, and I was given a trip to the principal's office. It was for a bag of liquors and a couple of candy necklaces. But there's still something about that trip that I'd just as soon pass up. This is Tucker Jones, and hey, keep your ears open.
See, a bad idea. This is like, I think the tape, I'm almost done with streaming anyway, too. This tape's almost done.
That's it for this issue, Boomers.
Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it.
Time to get the real
pull
story
over.
about Pocahontas. And Dave Schmave has another tale.
So take care of each other out there, Boomers. And remember, it all comes back.
What does that mean, it all comes back? Chat, it all comes back, baby. All right, thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate it as we went through the Tapeworm's Guide Volume 2, which had some really cool tunes in it. I really liked the ones about monsters in the soup and in the creatures and the monsters and everything. Very good stuff. So, Retro Pals isn't streaming this week. We're taking it off because we're pretty tired from the Gauntlet. But tonight at 8:30 Central, there is going to be a GDQ event, and put this in here. And Sardoos is going to be there. Sardoos is on the loose on the GDQ channel. So do check it out. Let me just put the link in the chat. So you can catch Danny later tonight. All right. Let me find someone to raid. Thank you all again so much for watching, donating, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah, I really want to find monsters in my soup. Let's see. Find someone to raid real quick. How about Gomi? Let's do that. All right, folks. Thank you so very much for showing up. I appreciate it. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day. See you later. Goodbye.